And buonasera a tutti. Good evening, everyone. Back on What's the Scoop, June 4th, 2026, just past 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and 4 p.m. Rob Time, our producer behind the scenes. Good to see everybody today. Brendan, I know that, so we just saw each other about 17 hours ago. We were recapping on the K&K interim jokingly dubbed the No BS BNS show. We were recapping game one of the NBA Finals. We were recapping that late Knicks comeback over the Spurs. Tonight, we've got NHL Finals. We've got the Golden Knights going up against the Carolina Hurricanes. And we have a little bit of preview as the rapidly approaching World Cups are coming fast and furious. And of course, we still got some baseball to talk about today. Although, I gotta be honest, man. The fact that they won today, that the Yankees won today, I don't think I've cared less about a win in my entire life.
Yeah.
I don't think I've cared less about a win in my entire life. Because if anybody out there has like studied Latin, for example, and knows the concept of a Pyrrhic victory, that is exactly what this feels like. Essentially what a Pyrrhic victory means, for those who don't know, is it's a victory, but it's kind of like that meme that goes, I won, but at what cost? Yeah. Which basically is saying that it's a win, but it comes with such a cost that it basically feels like a loss. Now, obviously, what we're going to talk about had nothing to do directly with the win today, but it's just the timing is kind of lining up. But before we get to that, how you doing, man?
You know, for all things considered, even though, you know, with the bad news, hopefully not coming. Hopefully it's not as bad as we think. But you know, I will take a win any day of the week. It's just that it's, you know, we'll get into it. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of numb after like was I happy to see us get the win, especially late and whatnot, and Bender have a 1-2-3 inning. Yeah, but I'm like, I feel numb watching Yankees baseball without Aaron Judge. So I guess the feeling today is numbness.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's just, and I don't want to spend too much time speculating because there's a good chance that at any second we will have, like you said, hopefully good news about the ongoing saga with regard to the injury to Aaron Judge. For those who didn't see the update today, he was sent to, I'm going to pull up the name of the doctor real quick, but he was sent to a specific doctor who specializes in, among other things, thoracic outlet syndrome surgery, or thoracic outlet syndrome recovery. There we go. The doctor's name is Dr. Gregory Pearl, according to a spokesman from the Yankees. He's based out of Dallas, Texas. And for the background on thoracic outlet syndrome, now you've seen things happen in the last few years where there have been players who have overcome that, like Zach Wheeler, and if anything, come back even better than they were before. Unfortunately, for position players in particular, it's been the guys like the Jared Young, the Mike Zunino, who were all-stars beforehand and came back, and not that it didn't necessarily end their careers right away, but it ended the careers as we knew them. Mm-hmm. And the fact that that's a concern right now, and that they are not just hoping to rule that out, but they are involving a doctor specifically affiliated with that as their expertise. We rapidly went from a couple of days, and I don't mean to be the alarmist fan here, but we rapidly went from what are we going to do over the next couple of days to a couple of weeks or what are the Yankees going to do over the next couple of days to a couple of weeks, to this potentially being something that changes the course of the Yankees' future.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've done most of the talking, so just give me your thoughts on where we're at right now, because I don't really know what else to say.
It's it's a really, really dark. It's crazy because after today's win, we're first in the American League in wins, but it's if we get bad news on this, then honestly, then the Yankees, you might enter a dark period where they don't win again for another decade. Just because it's not, this isn't like you're missing just your best player on an average team. You're missing one of the greatest players to ever play the game. If that's the case, and it's I just knew even before that Boone said he talked to Judge during the A's series, and Judge said something wasn't right. You could see in Judge's at bats basically since the Milwaukee series that something was really off. Popping up, pitches right down the middle of the plate, not swing, not seeing the ball well, you know, not really, being late on a lot of pitches that he usually crushes. Whenever Judge goes through a slump, it's one thing. We expect that. But he was going through a slump where it was quite literally the worst slump in his entire career. And it,
I assume you're leaving out the 2016 season.
Yeah, because that really doesn't count. He just came up, and he wasn't Aaron Judge yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying like since being since really being a starter, since his real rookie season in 17.
In 7, yeah.
So it's it's really tough because we know that this team, whenever Judge has gone down over the years, this team just does not pick up the slack, and
we turn into Anaheim basically.
Yeah, if this ends up being what we're scared of it being, then I don't see how the Yankees even make the playoffs. So it's like that's just the reality. This is a team that doesn't miss the playoffs, but it's
when was the last time they did? I mean,
injury. When we say, "Oh, it'll never be the same," we mean like 50 plus home runs and 120 RBIs a season and a batting average over 310. It's like, if you still, not for nothing, if you still get at 36 years old, if you still get, 25, 30 homer Judge batting 270, 280, then it's like, it's still, like regardless, no matter what, at this point in his career, he's a Hall of Famer. But it's just, but just his presence alone in the lineup makes such a difference that you cannot win a ring without him.
No.
And it's we're talking about already piling on top of injuries to Stanton, to Dominguez, the pitching injuries that we've had really throughout the whole season so far that have kind of came and gone.
Right.
But still waiting for Clark Schmidt to come back. So I mean, if you don't have Aaron Judge on top of those injuries, I would almost venture to say, what the hell's the point of watching the rest of the season? Because honestly, that's the engine of your entire offense. Even if he's slumping, like not hurt, but slumping, he still demands such attention and he has such a presence that just him alone would be just him missing him alone would be beyond detrimental to this team. It would be almost like you would almost have to look at blowing it all up and starting over again.
Well, I'm glad you said that. And basically, to tail off that, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Judge changes the way teams have to play you, and have to pitch to you, have to field against you, and you just mentioned at the end, and this is what I was about to get into. So Yankees have 8 guys who are scheduled to hit free agency after this season. They've got Grisham, Jazz, Bednar, Goldschmidt, Hill, Rosario, Yarborough, Blackburn. And then the season after, and then after 27, and again, there's this whole sort of elephant in the room as to what's going on with all of that. After 2028, before 2028 rather, it's McMahon, Doval, Clark Schmidt, and Giancarlo Stanton. Like, you're looking at a very real possibility that Judge and Stanton have played their last game together.
Yeah.
And
that's really sad too.
It's sad, and it's again, we don't know how contracts are going to be handled with all this, but looking down the rest of the way, other than Fried and Bellinger, at this point, if that's what happens, other than Fried and Bellinger, I'm making anybody else on the team available.
Yeah, I would think so too. I'd still say Ben Rice too. Ben Rice is untouchable. But,
let me clarify what I was saying. I'm sorry. I'm making anybody else available of like guys on like veterans on big contracts is what I should have said. I'm not moving off Rice or Schlittler. That.
Yeah. So it's
no.
like it's like out of your entire roster, there's only 4 guys you're holding on to. So it's that's and 2 of them are pitchers. So really, it's 2 position players you're holding on to.
Yeah. Fried, Bellinger, Schlittler, and Rice is now my core. If I'm and those are the only guys I'm making untouchable.
Yeah, I'd say if that people don't realize like a bunch of my own buddies are like, oh, it'll be fine, whatever. I'm like, listen, I would hope so too, but if he is going to see a TOS specialist, that's cause for concern. That's alarming. So
that's not just a year of injury, or I'm sorry, a year of injured list. That's the recovery that he has to deal with. We don't know what the hell does a recovery for TOS look like on a guy who's 6'8".
Yeah,
we have no precedent for that. Again, I keep mentioning, whatever next year looks like from a league standpoint. It's just, and I mean, me, and you're talking about your friends with optimism and whatnot. Me on this show, I'm sometimes optimistic to a fault when it comes to this team or the Eagles.
Yeah.
So for me to come on and be in DEFCON 1 mode, there's a problem.
Yeah, like it's just when you look at this team from top to bottom, like after Judge with the current healthy group of guys that you have, really that's the 4 guys Cole will be older, but the 4 guys you basically trust would be those 4. Would be Fried, Schlittler, Belly, and Rice. So it's, if that,
and maybe this is me being a cockeyed optimist. I do think that there is at least a annual playoff contender that can be built around those 4 guys.
Yeah.
I don't think that I think there's a difference between your championship window is closed and your championship window with Aaron Judge is closed. I think those are 2 different things.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time seeing how Aaron Judge wins a ring if this injury keeps him out until 2028. I just do.
Yeah. It's, this is why we said for years, going back to really since 22 was like when basically after all these MVP seasons, if it wasn't now, when? And it was like, we always kept saying they're not getting any younger. They're not getting we know that Aaron Judge is 34 and he's still, you know,
What the?
Aaron Judge, and it's like, he's still playing at a high level into his mid 30s, but this is the problem with banking on guys who are in the mid 30s. You're banking on Stanton, you're banking on Judge, you're banking on Cole. It's like yeah, they are still who they are, but injuries happen, especially long-term ones as you get older. That's just life. That's not even just for an athlete. That's anybody in general. That's life. So it's just, keep like hoping that, oh yeah, we hope they're healthy. We hope they're healthy. We hope, and it's like we know they never are. Like, well, Aaron Judge is the exception because he somehow gets healthier with time.
Yeah, he has like the whole time space continuum. He's the best argument against it that's ever existed.
Yeah. It's just like it's incredible, but I mean, it's like, honestly, if this is TOS, I mean, if it is if it is longer term, and they're saying that they're gonna put him on the 60-day and all that stuff, then at that point, honestly, I know he's got a contract left to fulfill, but what, he's going to be 36. He's under contract until he's 39.
No. Aaron Judge's contract goes through 2031.
So
that's still 4 more years of him under contract. You're not doing anything with his contract. That's just not happening.
No. I'm just saying 38, 39, around there. So yeah, it'd still be about 38, 39. But I'm just like, I'm not saying to cut him loose, but I'm saying that at that point, just like, man, I don't even know.
Yeah, it'd be the end of his age 39 season is when it would run out.
Yeah, I don't even know what it would look like, honestly. Like we keep saying that, it's hard to wrap our head around it because for other guys, it diminishes them severely. But for Aaron Judge, how much would it diminish him if it's that kind of if that is the injury? We don't know, just because it's like saying to Barry Bonds, hey, we're gonna nerf the hell out of you. Like, at that point, so like, I mean, unless Aaron Judge, if that's the injury, unless he comes back and proves that, oh my God, he can beat TOS even, which would be an insane thought. But it's not saying it can't be done. But when you're 30s, if that's happening to you at 34, 35 years old, and you're going to be 36 by the time you come back, chances are you're just not going to be close to the same player. So it's just, I would love, and that's what's crazy is I knew that something was wrong immediately, because when they said that when he went down, oh, it's a bone bruise, but then they weren't giving us any more updates, and they said the next day, oh, he needs more. The second you say more imaging, I assume the worst, because
you and me both.
Because I'm like, if he and the thing is, this is now what, the second round of this, basically, or even third round. So, like, if he needs this much imaging, they keep saying, oh, he maybe, they're optimistic that he's going to be on the 10-day IL or 15-day, whatever it is. I'm like, I don't think so. Not if you need this much imaging.
At this point, the concept of the 10-day IL, at least in so far as just talking about the actual minimum 10 days, is pretty much a moot point, because we can almost inevitably say that we don't expect them to be back for this coming series this weekend. And by the beginning of next week, that's already the full 10 days. So I think at this point we can pretty much see that the writing is on the wall as for it being the minimum 10 days at this point. Yeah. If you're talking about now trying to rule out something that would have a 9 or 10 month recovery minimum, if you're talking about having to even consider trying to rule that out, there's no way you expect them to be back in a week and a half. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just, there's no way. Like, the best case scenario is he's back by the start of July. That's in that case, I would think. So, if it ends up not being TOS, so because I just wouldn't want to rush it at that point. At that point, just let him heal and just tread water without him. If
Yeah,
keep try to stay where you're at without him. I mean
right.
that's hard to do.
And then,
That's hard to do because this whole offense disintegrates without him.
well,
So
I think that because I mean it depends on. It's tough because the other things, there was a report that was done about things that can look like TOS but end up being something else, and that's things like a costal cartilage fracture, costochondritis, intercostal muscle strain, and it's things that can range anywhere from about a month, like you were saying, to closer to 4 months. So either way, we know we're looking at a situation where this season is now turned on its head very quickly. And we can pretty much assume at this point losing him from the season losing him for the season went from the worst case scenario to one of the best case scenarios very quickly.
Yeah. And honestly, if it is something serious and takes about at the earliest a 3 month recovery time. I mean, what the earliest you're getting? I mean, you would like to get him back for the postseason.
If he's not getting back until September, somewhere around there, and if they're not right in the thick of things when he does come back, and I mean realistically in the thick of things, at that point just shut him down and let him rest the offseason.
Just shut him down. Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I love Aaron Judge, and 70% of Aaron Judge is better than 99% of the hitters that have ever played the game, but it's not worth it to rush him back if you got 9 games left to play and you're 10 games out. Or no, I did that wrong. 10 games left to play and you're 9 games out.
Yeah, I know, I understand that like Brian Cashman always says, and I mean, I know this is a very tough, spot to be in because then really they've never been in this spot. But Brian Cashman always says, we're the Yankees. There is no offseason that we need to go all in for it. Well, guess what? If Aaron Judge is out, you better not be sitting on your ass at the trade deadline. Like I need moves made.
I think the Yankees. I genuinely believe. I think the Yankees would have liked to have picked up a catcher already. The problem just is. This is what I say on this show often, and people don't like to hear it. But when you're dealing within a market, you're relying also on what other people are doing. And the fact is that trade markets just have not begun to move yet. And they now, these day and age, with the timings of things having changed and the extra playoff team and all of this, the market begins to move later than ever. So, that's and honestly, you kind of started to say this yesterday about Spencer Jones. At this point, Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez need to be everyday players.
Yeah,
that
was why I even said even before this season started, my outfield would have been Belly, Dominguez, and Judge, and Jones the fourth. The only problem I have with Jones as the fourth
is that, excuse me, I have hiccups, is that I typically want my really young guys who are just breaking into, that was part of the problem that we have with guys like Peraza, is we were playing them, but playing them part-time. That would be my concern with making him the fourth, that's kind of what we've criticized them for in the past, is bringing guys up and then making them part-time players. So that would be my concern. If you really want to go, as they say, balls to the wall, cut bait with Grisham, cut bait with Stanton, and just make both Stanton, or just say, screw it, Dominguez, Jones, you're everyday players now.
Yeah, I mean that's probably it. But the thing is but with the way I mean, I know the Yankees are aggressive this year more than others, but
what a time for that to happen, right? The most aggressive we've seen them ever, and
the whole thing is falling apart, right?
Yeah.
Now. So it's or we say falling apart. I mean, listen, it's like they do have the most wins in the AL. We get that, but it's just on paper what they have right now is just disintegrating like quicksand. They're just falling into quicksand. So it's, I mean, honestly, and they keep saying that, oh, if Judge is out long term, that they don't want, and of course you don't want to, but they don't want to rush Dominguez and Stanton. But I'm like, well, someone's got to play the outfield, because it can't be Rosario and Cabby and all this bull crap. It can't be that. It can't be that. So, like, someone's gonna have to change that. Like, I understand you don't want to rush them, and Stanton's not gonna play the outfield anyway. But if Dominguez is healthy and ready to go, he needs to be playing like every day, because if that's the long term, outcome when it comes to Judge, then moves have to be made almost immediately, because without him, and if you continue to put out guys like Rosario every day, and putting guys like I know that Rosario and Cabby can play the outfield, but you don't want them playing the outfield. I don't want Rosario in the lineup at all at this point, because he can't field. We said it yesterday.
Yeah.
So
if he's in the lineup, it's as a DH, and it means you're sitting somebody else.
Yeah, and even then I wouldn't do it, because your DH until Stanton comes back should be Paul Goldschmidt. At least to me, but I think that.
Well, sorry, go on. I'm just trying to think about something real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about just what that lineup would look like, because I mean, honestly, it's probably not gonna be much different than what we saw today, but
right.
But I still think that that's the lineup you saw today is probably the lineup that gives them the best chance to win. But even so, like we said in previous years, Aaron Judge goes down for any period of time, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's 2 months, whatever it is, the team just completely, like, that's what's crazy. Is like, you still have a team on paper that has Cody Bellinger, that has a great defensive third baseman, Ryan McMahon can't hit, but great defensive third baseman. You still have Ben Rice. You've got a former MVP in Paul Goldschmidt who's played well this year so far. But it's like, and you've got a great pitching rotation. But it's crazy, because it's like when Aaron Judge is cold or is hurt, they all go cold. I don't get how that happens when you have guys who are name brand talents. So, like, and not just one or two of them, you have like 3 or 4 of them. So, I mean, honestly, I would love to be optimistic and say, oh, well, if Judge goes down, they still have name brand talent, because they do. But
those guys are not playing like it.
But they're not playing up to that. Like it's just like, you're not going to get MVP Belly, where he's got 47 homers, 120 RBIs, whatever it was, and a 300 something batting average, crazy OPS, all that stuff. You're not going to get that out of Belly. Like, we'll be lucky to get 25, 30 homers out of Belly and a 280 average. So it's like, and it's still really good. That's still all-star worthy, but like,
right.
It's like, that's, you're not, no one can replace Aaron Judge, but how we said, well, like, when we lost Juan Soto, that, X, Y, and Z, like these 3 guys, obviously, that we got, that would have to kind of.
We recreated him in the aggregate.
Yeah, so there's no
Moneyball quote for those who don't know.
Yeah, so you can't replace Aaron Judge, but that whole lineup basically has to then pick it up for what you lose in him. So, like, every guy is going to have to hit probably, 5 more home runs than what they usually do, almost. Every guy is going to have to try to get on base a lot more. Like, everything becomes a lot more strained, a lot more heightened, a lot more intense, because, these guys on their own are great players, but you have to fill the gap that Aaron Judge leaves, and that's just a gap that nobody can fill.
We talked yesterday. I posed the question yesterday about, in the next couple of weeks, if Judge has to go on the 10-day IL, who has to step up in the wake of all that? If the DEFCON 1 scenario that we're discussing comes to pass, then I don't care if you're a leadoff hitter. I don't care if you're a superstar on a 9-figure contract. I don't care if you're a rookie. I don't care if you're the last guy out of the bullpen. Every one of these guys needs to find a new level in their game. Yeah. Every single one of them. I'm not exaggerating, every single one of those other 25 players needs to find another level in their game and needs to just turn it up, basically. Because, and I mean, hey, number 13 over there, you wanted 8 years for 280. Now's your time to earn it. You've completely cooked yourself from those 50-50 comments. You've shot yourself in the foot more times than Plexico Burris in the nightclub. But at this point, you've got a chance to go out there and take it, like Herb Brooks said. So
yeah.
So I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Trent Grisham. I felt like I was in the twilight zone today. The three guys we complained most about yesterday are the ones who showed up today.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Trent Grisham. I think Ahmed Rosario needs to find another. I can't rely on him on defense. But he needs to become
off the bench. Yeah, off the bench.
Yep.
You better be. What's his face?
Scott Hatteberg.
You better be Shane Spencer.
Oh, okay. I went Scott Hatteberg, but okay. I was stuck in the money ball.
But you better be Shane Spencer off the bench. You coming off the bench. You better be a spark plug because you're going to go up there. Because honestly, if you're going to go up there, and there's been plenty of at bats where he gets up there with guys on first and third one out or second and third one out. And I see him swinging over balls in the dirt. No. You need to go up there, and when you see ball, hit ball. It's like I don't want to see guys up there. Honestly, because Aaron Judge is out, and because Aaron Judge plays this game the right way, I don't want to see guys jogging. I don't want to see guys taking half-ass swings. I want you guys to play like you're gonna die tomorrow. Yep. I want you playing so damn hard that you are basically puking on the field after that ninth inning.
Yeah,
because there's no excuse to play like crap when your captain goes down and you need to pick up the slack for it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse regularly.
There's no excuse to begin with. But you've got this. You guys say he's your captain. We ride or die for him. You got to go out there and play like it now. You got to go out there and play like it now. You got to go out there and say, we're not leaving this field without the 28th ring for number 99. And the fact that it got to the point that it did, where we already talked about the last two games, so we ain't even gonna get into that because we did that yesterday and we got plenty of other things we got to discuss tonight.
Yeah.
But it's just, it suddenly went from we need to get a right-handed catcher at the deadline to, pardon me, I was going to ask how you think this impacts their approach going up to the end of July, but I don't even really know how to discuss that because I don't care who you're bringing in. I don't care if you're bringing one guy or four guys. There is no, even if you go to that, like I said, recreating him in the aggregate, there's no doing that with Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is one of about four players in Major League Baseball that there's no plan B that even remotely fills in the gaps, even 75%. So pardon me. Jody says Trent was a horrible signing. I mean, I disagreed with you about that 6 months ago, and I still do. But there's a difference between being a horrible signing and working out horribly. This is not a good version. This is not the version of Trent that we expected, that we got for the first chunk of his Yankees career. I still believe that he's going to turn it around. But I'm not going to spend too much time on. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because he has to go out and actually produce.
I think hitting wise he can. I just think defensively he's shot. He looks.
Well, that's the part that pisses me off. Is what I liked him most for was his defense.
Yeah, and it's just gotten worse in the last, what was it? When he first came here, he was all defense, no bat. Then last year it was kind of right, perfect where you want it. Defense suffered a little bit, but it was still really good, and he had the bat. Now this year, you're not getting either. Well, like the hitting is starting to come through a little more, but now the defense is so bad, it's almost unplayable.
It's like you said, and I was talking a couple months ago about bringing in a couple of defense first guys, and I know you and I had a disagreement about that, but I mean, we got Ryan McMahon, we've got Paul Goldschmidt. Can you name one other player you trust defensively on this team right now, except for Cabby?
Belly.
Sorry, you're right, Belly.
Yeah, Belly. Yeah, but that's really your 4. Yeah, because I mean, even though Jazz has been,
I don't trust Rosario as far as I can throw him. I don't trust Jazz as far as I can throw him. Wells, we've talked about plenty of times. I'm not even going to get into that. I mean, we just talked about Trent. I don't know who's going to become your quote unquote regular right fielder going forward. I don't know if it's going to be bringing Jones back up, but even so, Jones has had his own defensive liabilities, as has Jason Dominguez. I mean, who are going to be your guys manning you have ground ball heavy pitchers in your rotation and in your bullpen. You cannot just rely on the guy behind the plate to do all the work.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know, because and the worst part is like, for me, I'm like, I know that they don't come around often, but like when I think about the trade deadline, just from at least the archetype of a player that I want, like at this trade, and this is also why we said yesterday that Adley Rutschman makes a ton of sense, because he's the one guy out there where you're still getting the defense and you're still getting good numbers at the plate. So like it's like, to me, it's like I need to see them get players. Honestly, like if this ends up being a long-term thing with Judge, then you can kind of relax a little bit. Not too much, but relax a little bit more. But if he's done, then I need to see them bring in players here that, like, listen, give me good defense if it's possible, and give me good hitting. Like, I'm not saying it has to be elite. I'm not saying it has to be great, but give me a bunch of 250, 260 hitters with a 750 OPS, something like that.
I'm going to throw in one more factor: controllable. Don't be giving me no damn rentals.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing I keep seeing. I don't know why this article keeps circulating around. I know why, but I also don't know why people are putting so much stock into this, because every Yankee or bigger Yankee person out there on the social media spaces has been like, oh, are the Yankees going to try to go after Tariq Skubal? I'm like, first of all,
I knew that was the name you were going to. I knew that was. Let's try that again. I knew that was the name you were going to say, and I. Whatever happens today, that's done. If it's not. It never started, in my opinion, but that's done.
Yeah, and then the thing is, you're going to tell me that the team coming into basically yesterday, with the first, with number 1 in ERA across the entire major leagues, you're going to.
That's the last thing we need.
Yeah, that's the last thing this team needs. And the thing is, you got to remember, Clark Schmidt is coming back basically by the end of this month, early July. So, not for nothing, you're going to add him back. You're going to have a 6-man rotation. So someone's getting moved to the pen. So you're instantly getting pen help. They might by the end of the month, they'll probably still call up Lagrange and put him in the pen. So,
Did you see the other day 4 innings, 7 strikeouts?
Yeah.
In this first relief start. I mean, I know 4 innings isn't much of a relief start, but I think they're trying to whittle him down a little bit. I think they're trying to be more gradual with him.
Yeah, but that's that's fine. And the thing is, I mean, the Yankees, not for nothing, even though they have a lot of ground ball pitchers, they need somebody, not Duvall, because Duvall has the velocity but no location and just horrible pitch selection.
Duvall reminds me of what my shout out to my former personal trainer John Matt, and still a friend of mine. He reminds me of something that he used to say when I would train. He said, "You can put the ball 100 feet, but once that thing falls off your fingertips, the only one who knows where it's going is God."
Yeah.
And that's basically how I feel about Camilo Duvall.
Yeah, and this is why people kept saying, like, when the Yankees got him, like, oh, he throws hard, but his control has literally gotten worse as time goes on. I like, so, and it's like, okay, you're thinking Matt Blake can fix him. No, you can't fix that. You can't fix a guy that doesn't want to put in the work to be fixed. Because clearly,
okay, all right. Let's back up. Let's back up a second. Because this is the second time you've said this on the show tonight. Where do you have the perception that Camilo Doval, and you mentioned it earlier with position players about their work ethic and whatnot. I'm just kind of struggling with where you're getting the perception that struggling to do something and the effort that they're putting in are just. Can you explain that a little bit? Because that's where you're losing me.
Because when it comes to Matt Blake, and the thing is, it's like 9 times out of 10 he can turn any water into wine. And getting Camilo Doval, where you got him from, you were getting a guy who was good at one point, but became water. And it's like Camilo Doval, since he's come over, really basically since that trade deadline last year, I can maybe think of maybe a handful of appearances where he's actually been decent. Like, to me, it's like wonder, or I question the work ethic, because at some point it's got to get better. Like,
I don't disagree with you that the problem is internalized with the individual and it's not necessarily in what Matt Blake is teaching him, but I still think there's a gap between it being something fundamental within the individual and that specifically coming down to work ethic. There's a split there for me, and I just wanted to understand it. And I'm not saying I have any proof to counter what you're saying. That's just
a feeling I get. Like, it's like, with him, it's just, we see the same stuff every time he comes out of the pen. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's the 6th inning or if it's the 9th. It's the same. Like, it doesn't matter. You can't put him in high leverage. You almost can't put him in low leverage. Like, it's honestly, it's crazy how
you gotta save him for no leverage. Unfortunately, those games happen at single A.
Yeah. So it's like that. That's why I'm just wondering. I'm like, is it, because I'm like, to me, just when you have a problem in every scenario that you're put in, either it's all in your head or it's all in just how you carry yourself, which leads into your work ethic. So, like,
see, I tend to lead toward the English. I tend to lean toward the first one. And again, you and I have seen this time and again where there are just guys who between the ears aren't. I don't know if aren't cut out for New York is fair, at least yet, but struggle getting to New York. Yeah. It definitely seems like Jake Bird was one of those guys. It seems like, pardon me. It seems like for some reason there's that with Camilo Doval. I get more surprised when it comes from guys that come from places like San Francisco or places like Chicago or places like Los Angeles or places like Boston. Yeah. I get more surprised with those guys because they're used to more of like the fanfare, the media, the cameras in their face. Like, they're used to that more. I understand, coming from a place like Colorado or coming from a place like, formerly Oakland. Like, I understand it a little more coming from those places. But when it's somebody who comes from not a similar market, because there's no comparable market to New York other than maybe Philly. Yeah. But so I do think that there's definitely issues there. I mean, that's obvious. But I just didn't know if you had more sort of intel on that or more perception of that. Because, I mean, you're much more of an eye test guy. You're somebody who you've got an incredible eye for detail when it comes to certain, like, picking up on certain things that have nothing to do with the actual outcome of the game. And I don't mean that. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that because there are things like I'll be watching the game, and my brain will be working with, this, this, that, or the other. From a more analytical and sabermetric standpoint, and then you'll be texting saying things along the lines of like, why does he keep calling for that pitch? And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you know why too, and this just goes into the I'll make this the last thing I say about baseball before we get into the stuff we got to talk about. But yeah, not just with the Yankees, but it drives me crazy with any baseball game. When the thing is, especially at this level, at the professional level,
Yes, sir.
you have to understand, like, and because I'm somebody that used to pitch, so you there's just a lot of boo-boos, a lot of do's and don'ts that you just gotta keep in the back of your mind, that a lot of these pitchers and catchers, a lot of these batteries don't understand.
Yeah.
It's or something they just forget about, throughout the course of a game. Like when I'm watching, especially with this Cleveland series, when I'm watching Cole and Schlittler get roughed up a little bit, and a lot of it was shaky defense, but still they were getting hit hard a lot outside of that. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, well, you know why you're getting hit hard? Because if your best pitch is your fastball, and you think Cleveland is a piss poor fastball hitting team, they're the worst in the league at hitting
Yep.
anything over 95 miles an hour. Why are you continuing to try to bury the curveball? And especially, why are you doing it to left-handed hitters? Like, you're literally throwing it to guys like, like Jose Ramirez is phenomenal, just as a hitter in general. But why
Oh, yeah.
is your thought process to ever try to throw, especially when your curveball that day is not that sharp? Why are you trying to bury the curveball down and into him, right in a hitter's happy zone, when you know it's not sharp and it's going to get crushed? And that's what happened yesterday. He crushed Garrett Cole on a. And the thing is,
Yeah.
it wasn't. And the thing is, it wasn't even a breaking ball either. But it's like, the thing is, if you're going to throw inside on a hitter that good, and they always say this all the time, it's just common sense. You've got to get the ball in enough. You can't try to be perfect and try to paint the corner, because they're going to smack it. So, it just drives me crazy when it's either counts that don't call for certain pitches, or when it's just like, or even today, like Rodon on the surface, great outing, phenomenal, 7 Ks through 6 innings, 1-run ball, perfectly fine. And I still blame the offense for giving him no run support today, because that's first and foremost. But I'm not freaking out over the 6 innings of 1-run ball, but the 1 run he gave up was avoidable, because you're
Right.
pitching to a guy who doesn't see the field, and Stuart Fairchild, who's only had 5 at bats all year. He's never seen the field this year. And
I mostly remember him with Cincinnati.
yeah, but he hasn't seen the field this year at all. And you never, ever, ever. It's a cardinal sin, especially with 2 outs. And the thing is, he was getting hitters, popping up the fastball up and chasing the slider down a lot today. Why is your first pitch? And the thing is, of course, he left it up a little bit. Why is your first pitch ever, from Little League until the pros, your first pitch in at bat should never, ever, ever be an off-speed pitch? It should not, unless you have I'm not saying like that it's the rule, like, unless whatever, but unless your stuff has that much break to it consistently, I would never, ever at any level tell any pitcher to throw a first pitch and have it be off speed of any kind. That first pitch has to be some variation, to me, of a fastball, 4-seam, 2-seam, sinker, cutter. That's what you should be throwing on your first pitch, in my eyes, especially, like I said, to a team that can't hit the fastball well. So that 1 run that he gave up was it was avoidable. Like, it's not so much of him, because mistakes do happen, I understand that. But I'd rather you get beat with, and I say this even when it comes to football or any sport, I'd rather you get beat with your best stuff,
Right.
than you just basically saying, hey, we're going to try this and see what happens. Because if you're guessing either as a hitter or as a pitcher, it's not going to end well.
No.
So to me, and that goes back to why I've been critical about Austin Wells and Escara calling games,
Yeah.
because it's not so much them calling the whole game, but it seems like in big moments, both of them just don't call the right pitch, or they don't, or hell, it could be the right pitch, it's just not the right location they should be setting up for. Like, there's no reason, if you've gone inside to a hitter with a bunch of different pitches, your strikeout pitch shouldn't be to go back inside, because he's just waiting for that mistake inside to crush.
Right.
You need to go away from the hitter. So it's things like that. It's either just them setting up in poor locations, but the right pitch, or it's just the wrong pitch call in general in a certain count, in a certain situation. And I'm just like, guys, you are a professional athlete. You're a professional baseball player. This should not be happening. And this happened for all 3 games in this series. This cannot be happening on a consistent basis at this level. So
Absolutely.
it just drives me crazy as someone who like I said, who pitched and who just like I'm a stickler for good fundamental and good situational baseball. So it's like it drives me crazy when I see little things like that that are completely avoidable, that are in your control, and they just let it get away from them for whatever reason. So that's just it.
Can I read something really quick that kind of spins right off of this? Because yesterday we talked about a former Major League Baseball pitcher named Trevor Bauer, and somewhat well-timingly, that's not a word, but he was named the Atlantic League Pitcher of the Month for April into May, and he actually put something on Instagram 2 days ago that goes in very well with this, and I thought I'd read it if that's okay real quick. He has basically here a 4-step, it says, most pitchers panic when they're getting hit. Here's the 4-step diagnostic I actually run. 1, count quality. Am I giving up hits in hitter counts or pitcher counts?
Yep.
Hitter counts mean I'm already behind before they swing. The fix is working ahead. If they're hitting me in pitcher counts, it's not a count problem. Move on. Step 2, execution. Am I actually hitting my spots? If I'm missing locations, nothing else matters. Fix command on the fastball first. If I'm hitting my spots and still getting hit, go to step 3. Step 3, sequence. Is my pattern backwards? Most hittable pitch and location early. Least hittable pitch and location late. That's the rule. In 0-2 and 1-2 counts, the penalty for a ball in play is steep. That's when I want my nastiest stuff. If I'm throwing my most hittable shapes with 2 strikes, that's where they're getting me. Number 4, pattern recognition. They figured out my approach. I look at what's getting hit hard versus soft, in versus out, and I flip the whole order. They're punishing hard stuff late, start hard, finish soft. They're punishing soft stuff late, start soft, finish hard. The pattern they're sitting on disappears the second you flip it. Most guys never get past panic. 4 steps and you have the actual answer.
Yeah. That's and that's see, Patrick, did you guys play baseball? I know I did. I played 3 positions when I played. I played for 6 years. I wish I would have stuck with it longer than I did because I absolutely could have. I always say this all the time. I was a good enough player. I wasn't going to be like a D1 college athlete, but I could have easily played D2 college baseball and been good at it. That's how good I was at playing baseball growing up. But I just didn't. I just never stuck with it. But and I still want to play every day. I mean, I've made that obvious on the show. But
same here, frankly.
But I played. I was a third baseman, a first baseman, and a pitcher. So I saw the game from three different angles on the mound and from each side of the diamond. So I literally that's the thing is when I think about Trevor Bauer, he had some seasons where I struggled, but the thing is, I would love Trevor Bauer about 10, 20 years from now to be a pitching coach because he has the best mind I've ever seen.
Even a bullpen coach or a minor league pitching coach.
Yeah, because I could watch his videos all day on breaking down pitching.
To me he's like a Mark DeRosa but for pitching.
Yeah, I love it. Like he talks about he talks about sequencing, also the tunneling of your pitches.
Pitch tunneling.
So I love the fact that he breaks everything down, and he literally says, he'll usually obviously he'll wear those clip microphone things, and as he's working an account, he'll be saying out loud what he's thinking about working a certain hitter, and and it's great to see a pitcher's thought process, whatever he starts him off with, but the thing is and Trevor Bauer will tell you this too, is that coming onto the field, and I think even David Cohn said this, you just feel good when you come onto the mound to start the game, that very first inning. Yeah, you can tell even before you take the mound how good you feel that day, how good your pitches looked when you're throwing your bullpen session and all this different stuff. You can tell how you feel. So that's why it bugs me when I see guys who they're going to their third or fourth best pitch in a count that's calling for your best pitch.
Right.
Like it drives me insane because I'm like, if you don't have it that day, like I've said this last year when I saw Max Fried try to throw his cutter a little too much and it was getting whacked. I'm like, why is nobody telling him to stop throwing the cutter?
Mhm.
Because if it's getting whacked, common sense, stop
Either
throwing.
either Matt Blake or hell, even Garrett Cole should have been getting that for him.
That's
Also,
that's what bothered me yesterday too. Was Garrett Cole is a mastermind, is a perfectionist.
yeah.
I'm surprised at some of the pitches he threw yesterday. I'm like that's not what Garrett Cole would normally do.
No, I mean, that tells me that, to use your favorite word, that tells me that he didn't have feel for a couple of his things yesterday. Also,
Yeah.
because I didn't get a chance to answer this, but Mr. Wiltsey asked about playing baseball. I played baseball very briefly. Unfortunately, because I started so late, I definitely was just not in the development stage comparable to other people at my age at that point. But I did ultimately, after having surgery, develop the opportunity to briefly play baseball when I was in 12U, I think it was 12U or 14U. I started as a right fielder, was ultimately moved to left field. I played a little bit of different positions in like intramurals or scrimmages or whatnot, but primarily started in right field, moved to left field. I think most of my starts were in left field, but it kind of went, I kind of was 50-50. But yeah, put the guy who needed his legs worked on it surgically in corner outfield. Makes perfect sense, right? But I miss it every day, though. I miss it every day.
Yeah.
If you could tell me I could do I could change one thing about what I'm able to do in my life, just one thing, and I could automatically change it, it'd be my I would make it possible for me to even play even in a beer league. I don't even drink, but even in a beer league, or whatever they call those. Mr. Hathaway says, "Good evening, fellas." Good evening, Mr. Hathaway. Hope you're doing well. We followed your successes the other night with the whole electoral situation. So glad we were able to be a what's the word? Witness. That's not the word I was going for, but a witness to all of that. And wishing you all the best, sir, going forward. Men's league. My apologies. I swore there was something called a beer league, but for some reason that's what was coming.
There is the beer league is mostly for like softball and for like people who are like out of the game completely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I haven't played in 12 years.
Yeah, men's league is more like you're staying in shape, you're staying on top of your stuff, but you're older, you're like 30, 40, but you're still able to play. So like, yeah, see, Rob is saying hockey is what I think. Yeah, there's beer league for hockey too, but the thing is like it's kind of a different. They're somewhat similar, but men's league is more like when they call it a men's league, it's taken a little more seriously than a beer league. So it's
All right.
So basically that it's just a small distinction, but it's almost the same thing, kind of.
So it's like crocodile versus alligator.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Don't ask me where that came from. But pulling off of that, I apologize. There was a question from Jody that I never got to earlier. So let's pull that back up if we can, please. I believe it pertained to Nuggets and Pelicans. If we can pull that up real quick.
He said Nuggets are looking at Aaron Gordon for Zion Williams.
What was the last thing you, Brandon? What'd you just say at the very end there?
No, I said based on reports, Nuggets are looking
okay. So here's the tough thing, and you guys know, anybody who's watched this show and has listened to us talk basketball knows that I was on the trade Zion train really 2 years ago. I understand why it didn't happen before then, because first he was hurt and then he barely played the following year. So I understand he needed time to kind of rebuild his value and whatnot. And that's kind of been the tough thing, is that he has never, and I literally mean never, played more than 30 games in back-to-back seasons in the NBA until this season.
So, that's why I don't think the Nuggets would do this.
Oh my
the Nuggets
God.
would be stupid to do this.
Oh my God.
The Nuggets would be stupid to do this. Even if it was actually accurate from a reporting standpoint,
I
There's
feel
no
like when
reason
I
why they
feel
do this.
I feel like Toy Story 4 when we got the jump scare from Forky.
Dude, you gotta watch your screen. I mean, yeah.
I
Anyway,
did watch the screen, but it doesn't give me a 5-second warning that you're gonna jump on. Anyway,
but
how you
no,
doing?
but
Anyway, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing good, but no, it's just like I don't understand why the Nuggets would even do this. If it was even a real report, which I haven't seen anything on it, but still,
I
think it's
haven't either. I don't know where Jody finds some of these things, but
still, I wouldn't hate it for the Pels, but the Nuggets would never do it.
Yeah, no.
They would never do it.
Aaron Gordon means too much then to Denver.
Yeah, no, he does. He's really important for their offense and defensive structure because Jokic doesn't have to do everything, or not. Yeah, Jokic doesn't have to do everything on that offense with Gordon's on the floor. The thing is, he can't stay healthy either. Just trade two unhealthy guys.
He's one of the classic examples, AG, is as to why all team, all pro or all NBA team or whatever is a little too heavily looked at, in my opinion, or is relied on.
Get into that now because I hate that stuff. I think it's stupid. Go
I
ahead,
haven't gotten to finish, but
still, it makes me rage. That's why I'm going in. But continue, Scoop.
Okay. Anyway, it is because, like you guys are saying, Gordon is an integral part of what the Nuggets do in a lot of their games, but he's never been even a second team player. He's never made an all-star game. He's never been a league leader in anything, really. He's a prime example of somebody who is just kind of a workhorse more than somebody who is going to be a what's the word? You're not going to you might not.
Zion's a star still if he's healthy.
You might not rely on him. Like, for example, you might not seek him out in your fantasy hoops league, Robert. But
what? Are you serious?
Well, you do categories, right?
What are you talking about? Are you talking about Aaron Gordon?
Yeah.
He's one of the most valuable fantasy players you can get.
Bro, I don't play categories, so I'm genuinely asking you.
Yes, because he.
Okay,
my
bad.
Here's the point, because he's a scorer and he's a rebounder. But the thing is, with the Pelicans, with Zion, again, what value are we going to get? You're not going to get a star in return. Let's skip the Aaron Gordon thing entirely. If you're looking to trade in this offseason, what's the best you're going to get? Because it's not Aaron Gordon.
No.
It's not. It's maybe Kristaps? Maybe. And even then, he's not even healthy because he has whatever.
That would have been nice 6-7 years ago.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. So it's like, I think we're at the point with the Zion conversation. The Pelicans have no leverage to move him at all unless you trade him in midseason. Because in the offseason, you have no leverage. The only leverage you might have, maybe, is being a third team in a Giannis thing. But even that's unlikely because Zion's contract's crazy.
Well, I think any trade I think that involves Zion is going to be a multi-team deal. But
it has to be with the second apron. It has to be.
That's what I was about to say. But there's also just the fact that, and it feels like every 6 months, they'll have more leverage in February. Well, they'll have more leverage in the summer. Like it keeps feeling like
leverage in February. They have more leverage in February. This is what people get wrong: is they have more leverage in February because teams who want a star to help them win a title happens in February. But his contract is just a mess. Now, speaking on Zion, I think he's going to Miami, and I don't think it's even close because they're the only team that can do a 1-for-1. Because think about this: let me rescind that. Cleveland. Cleveland's the easiest decision. Cleveland is Miami, sure, but they won't move Bam. Cleveland is easy. Here's why Cleveland's easy.
Wait, who would Cleveland give up?
Evan Mobley straight up would get done easy. The contracts are exactly the same. They're exactly the same. They would get done easy. They would get done so. And again, I don't know what they're going to do with Harden, but if you're looking at
No.
But they have to do something with him because he's on like
I don't care.
$30
Keep him
million
the
a year
hell out of Louisiana. I don't care.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the Pels. The Pelicans are not going to.
Oh, thank God.
I'm talking about Cleveland. Whatever Cleveland's going to do with Harlem,
Okay.
I don't know. They're going to have to do something. Aside from that, a Mobley Giannis deal makes so much sense to me, and I don't know why. That's going to get done in the summer.
Giannis, what happened to?
Well, no, I'm just switching to Giannis here because
I was confused.
Cleveland. When I look at Cleveland right now, this is the move they have to make. There's no other question. Like, Mobley's a good player, sure. But if you want to win now, there you go. And look, OKC can also be involved, like if they want to put Chet up. But even then, you can't do that because Chet's contract is extremely low, and Caruso and a bunch of picks. Well, it might get it done. I don't think it's that realistic. When it comes to Giannis, I look at Cleveland as an option. Miami could be, but I don't think they want to get rid of Bam. There's like only two teams I can think of for the Giannis conversation because Boston can't do it. I'm trying to think any other teams that could feasibly do it. San Antonio can't do it. LA, the Lakers, I don't know what the hell they're doing because it depends what happens with LeBron. He's a free agent. LeBron's a free agent, so I have no idea what's going to happen with him.
I almost want to bet that LeBron's going back home.
Yeah, I
Nuggets,
agree.
they can't. I mean, they could, but Aaron Gordon and like a few picks, I don't think the Nuggets could afford him. I don't think they would want to because I don't think Jokic and if Patrick's saying the Nuggets, Jokic and Giannis don't make sense to me offensively at all. They just don't. So that's how I'm looking at it. So, I mean, and for the Pelicans, like, I don't know why we're talking about a Zion trade when it's virtually untapped.
I only mentioned it because Jody brought it up.
And I respect Jody for bringing it up because I think the Aaron Gordon thing is interesting. But realistically, the problem with his value is his contract. His contract's a mess.
It is. And that's the frustrating thing. That's what happens when you get a player who is the classic. When he's on the court, he shows you exactly why he was the number one pick most of the time. Most of the time. But unfortunately, and now again, thank God, knock on wood, he's been more healthy and more durable the last 2 years. He played 30 last year, and again, knocking on every
durable. 30's durable in modern NBA. 30 ain't durable, but I guess
once again I hadn't finished my sentence. He went from playing 30 to playing as many as he did this year, and it's good. You're gonna have to stack that up, right? You're gonna have to show next year that it's not gonna be 30, it's not gonna be 20, it's gonna be 55, it's gonna be 60, it's gonna be 65. You're gonna have to start showing that somehow you're gonna get the Aaron Judge syndrome going, where you're gonna be healthier and more durable as you get older. Okay,
how many games did Zion play last year? Did he play
this most recent year? I think it was 65.
So he hit the average. It's not bad, but he can't hit that every year.
It was, I'm trying to think, 62.
62 is good because 65 is when you get, your awards.
Yeah.
He can't do that every year, though.
But can we think about this in context, please? The team, first of all, they changed coaches in the beginning of the year. They went from, they had moved off of Willie Green. So they had that whole situation where they promoted Borrego. They were not contending at the end of the season, so they were trying to get more minutes to some of the younger guys. So I don't entirely believe, not that I don't believe because obviously the numbers are the numbers, right? 62 is 62, but I don't look at that the same way that I would have, because they kind of tinkered with who they, with lineups and whatnot and with strategy and whatnot, just to get a sense of what they had going forward. It's a little different to me than, guy had spent a little too much time getting chicken McNuggets after the game.
I mean, my whole thing with your lineup this year, and we talked about this all last season or this season, I guess, because we're still in the NBA Finals, is your strategy was stupid the whole year. You barely played.
Don't be saying my strategy. I didn't do none of it. I would have been doing something completely different. Don't be saying my strategy.
But no, Patrick, I was saying that the Nuggets and Giannis don't make any sense. But
Oh.
no, I'm just
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
agree.
saying,
I thought you were talking about LeBron for a second. I was very confused.
LeBron, I don't know what he's gonna do because I don't know what his value is on the open market.
I got two. I think I'm 65% Cleveland, 35% Warriors. One of those two.
Houston.
No. That's
I'm gonna throw Houston in there too.
I would be shocked.
We go play with KD.
Houston's always been on his list. I think with Kevin Durant, sure, they could do it. They could absolutely do it. He could play power. And then I'm trying to think. So
I don't see that. I don't see those two personalities meshing at all.
Have you seen how they play in the Olympics? Are you serious?
I mean, all I'm saying is 82 games is different.
I don't care. It's Kevin Durant and LeBron James. They'll figure it out.
That's what they Brandon. It's 3 stars and they'll figure it out with Kevin Durant. You heard this 7 years ago.
Play in the Olympics.
The second,
you see how special those two were.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Olympics is how many games versus a whole season plus playoffs.
Thank you. That's what I just said.
Still, if they team up, and again, I don't think it's likely, but I know Houston's been on his list. Golden State's been on his list. Golden State's been wanting him for 3 years.
Yeah.
Cleveland, obviously. Cleveland. Why would Cleveland? I don't think Cleveland makes sense because why not just get Giannis? It's a smarter move.
No. For Cleveland, LeBron doesn't make sense. But for LeBron, going home to finish your career and being done.
Yeah. I think I'm just going off of a vague memory that I have from a couple weeks ago. I don't have this right in front of me at all. But I think I remember seeing something that said that he would be willing to take a veteran minimum to go back to Cleveland.
Really?
I mean, he won't take a veteran minimum. I know that he won't do it.
Something in that, basically, he would take significantly less money to go there.
He would take significantly less money, but it's still a lot of money. I don't know why he would go back to the Lakers. I can't see.
I'd be shocked if he goes back. I think he's more likely to retire than go back to LA.
I know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, playing with Luka is always attractive. Clippers are interesting. That's a very interesting thought.
What?
I don't think that. Yeah, absolutely it is because you have Kawhi. You don't have the Paul George contract.
You got Kawhi, but Kawhi's the king of load management.
Yeah.
True, but if he's healthy for the playoffs, is an interesting duo.
I'm
just throwing things out there because I know he wants to stay in LA.
If is doing more work than LeBron has had to do in every place he's gone.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think he wants to stay in LA. Clippers is an interesting thought.
There is a reality where I could look at it, where I could look at him and just envision him saying to Bronny, "You're on your own, kid. Figure it out over there. I'm going home."
I've always said he should play in South. Well, it's not South Bay anymore, is it? Because they moved it. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say South America.
Honestly, Bronny might be better off in South America.
No, he should just play in the G League more. I've always said this.
Also, I'm just going to take 10 seconds because there was a comment a couple minutes ago. Jordy, hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know you've been watching the last couple, but thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you're having a good night. Also, Rob, a fellow Seattle native over there for you.
Yes,
my friend.
Yes. I'm very excited to go down to the port to watch some World Cup matches down there because I don't want to be in the big city for that damn World Cup. I'd rather be in one of my local ports.
Oh, you know what's really scary is that the World Cup we obviously know starts on June 11th, June 12th.
I did not know that, so thank you.
Well, yeah, but then June 12th through the 14th is the annual Portuguese feast down in Newark.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I didn't know that the Portuguese feast was a thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing in your area, Raven.
Anywhere.
You said your thing. I thought your area. I thought you were talking to me. I was like, there is not a Portuguese feast in Jackson in June.
Yeah, I was gonna say from what I remember, it has ties to a religious thing. It's basically, but it's called Portugal Day.
Are you playing on those days, or are you playing on the 15th? I'm gonna check.
No, we're playing after the feast.
Yeah, I figured you guys were playing. I think you guys are playing on the 15th or something.
Yeah, but anyway, basically the whole thing with Portugal is like anywhere where there's a big Portuguese population, they will always make sure that they celebrate basically Portugal Day and celebrate pretty much like the feast, because obviously it's a Portuguese tradition. But so they have it obviously here in Jersey, so in Newark, because Newark is a massive Portuguese population. They have it up in near Boston. Well, not Boston, but Fall River in Massachusetts, because that's where a lot of Azorean Portuguese people are from.
Yeah, I know where that is. I've been in that area.
They do it. It's basically all pork chop over there, and then they do it. That's what we are, man.
I know, but that always throws me off when you say pork chops.
I can't say that. By the way, Linwood area. By the way, North Linwood area. Just
do it. Because it's not. I mean, you're not going to find a lot of pork chops in the South unless it's the actual food on the grill.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say I can name about 10 places near me that you can get some good pork chops, man.
I'm gonna say something really racist. Do you eat pork chops in these feasts or no? Do you eat pork chops at these feasts?
He's basically asking, do you commit cannibalism?
Yeah, no,
that's not.
No, but
are you interested in how your skin tastes? Like, what is happening here?
No, but the thing is, they do it in I believe up in Canada, so up near Toronto, because Toronto has a big Portuguese population. They do it in.
Would never have known that.
Yeah, they do it in Fall River in Massachusetts. They do it in They do it here in Jersey in Newark, which is obviously, like I said, it's only about 10 minutes from my house. They do it.
Oh my God! And Brazil and Morocco's on the 13th in New Jersey.
That's
Jesus!
That might be a problem.
That's gonna be such a great game too. Damn it!
Right, because you know why? Because a lot of Brazilians because Brazilians they come from Portuguese, because Portuguese people colonize obviously. So, that's gonna be hell, because it's taking place in the middle of the feast, which
this might be a dumb question. This might be a dumb question. How often does Portugal? How often does? Clearly not. Have we not learned this in the first 114 episodes? But how often does Portugal? How often does Portugal play Brazil?
Like once every 3 years. It's a rivalry.
Okay.
You would
play
hope
international friendlies.
Yeah, you would hope that it's more often than that. But the only chance they would have to play them is if they get to the knockout stages and it works out that way. But the thing is that I wish they play each other more, because that's literally a civil war.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are always telling me about how intense soccer or football, association football rivalries are.
Don't call it association football, for God's sake. Nobody does that.
Well,
it's what it's listed as. Every time I look online for something, it says association football to differentiation from American football.
FIFA, man, I'm not gonna give Infantino the mic ever
What's
again.
What's Infantino?
God, Jesus, this is so bad. You should know who this guy is. You're a sports fan. Infantino is the head of FIFA. He is basically the Pope for soccer.
Are you aware of the fact that about 98% of what I know from FIFA has come from the two people on this screen?
Yeah.
Still, brother, did you see what he did? Can we talk about what he did, Brandon? That I showed you. Did you see
I'm gonna let you guys take the lead on that one, because I don't know what you're talking about.
So basically FIFA has these summits, which is basically I'm just gonna say it, a circle jerk of idiotic rich people who are like 70 years old. So he goes. So it was in.
Isn't that just leadership in a nutshell?
It was in Vancouver, Canada. One of the most beautiful places in the world. I love that place. He requested. I apologize. I can't find There's a great soccer podcast I was talking about this. I apologize for stealing your guys' thunder. But anyway, so I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
That's okay. The Thunder stole your basketball team, so.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, so there was a summit there. Infantino requests basically a double presidential motorcade, and the BC department said, "We ain't doing that. we didn't even do that for the Canadian Prime Minister. And then
I hope
the
that's actually what they said. I hope they actually said we ain't doing that.
pretty much. And then for some dumbass reason, he brings up the Iranian FA. He brings up the Iranian FA.
How does Iran get involved in this?
No, not Iran. The Israeli FA and the Palestinian FA, like the heads, and he tries to get them to shake hands while they're talking.
You gotta be shitting me.
And I was like, dude. And they're respectful, obviously, but he was trying to like put them together to shake hands. They're like, no, we're not shaking hands. But they had like a respectful conversation about, football in their country. And like it was a very respectful conversation. But he was like trying to push them together to shake hands.
How long until he tries to do that with Ukraine and Russia?
He tried to do it 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's like
you gotta be.
It's like a little kid playing with toys. Like, oh, now kiss. Like, no, bro. Like,
that's what watching the news. That's what watching the news feels like sometimes.
Oh God.
I love Bellevue, by the way, Jordy. I love Bellevue. I go there often.
Oh yeah, she's from Bellevue. She says, don't ever call the soccer, but of course she messes it up in any way. She says, don't ever call the soccer Associated Football Scoop. Well, that's okay because I didn't call it Associated Football.
Don't do that, man. We ain't doing that here. Oh my God. So let me look at this. So you have Brazil, Morocco, Brandon.
Yeah.
And that's your first one.
During the feast. Yep, during the feast.
I like how you talk. I like how you like say a bunch of stuff on here about Portugal for Brandon, but Italy never comes up for me.
Because they're not in the World Cup because you suck.
Yeah, basically.
You're trash. You literally haven't made a significant tournament since you won in 2016.
I understand I understand why. I'm just saying it's funny to me.
And then what's your other game? France and Senegal.
Respect the patch, damn it. Respect the patch.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, Jesus. Are you happy to be playing in Houston for your first game?
What?
You're in Houston.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, honestly, I understand how hot it gets down in Texas in the summer.
You're at NRG.
Yeah,
Oh, NRG. Oh, that's going to be interesting.
It's all the NFL stadiums.
Well, yeah. I was going to ask: is there an MLS team down in Houston? Like how big is Houston down in Texas? I mean,
are you kidding me?
How big is soccer? Shut up, Brandon. How big is soccer down in Texas?
Wait. How big is Houston down in Texas?
How big is soccer down in Texas?
Are you kidding me?
My guy,
ginormous.
We're putting on a shirt.
It's huge. Houston Dash and WSL. But you know who's a part owner of the Houston Dynamo? James Harden. He's like a 10% owner of the Houston Dynamo.
No, man.
I'm trying to see what other games you have in your area, Brandon.
I don't even want to know. I'd rather just be blind to it. Because we can't stop.
Norway and Senegal. You want so Norway's coming?
We can't stop. Obviously, we can't stop the World Cup from coming here. I just want to be blissfully unaware of it. I don't want to deal with it.
How? You're gonna be.
Because I don't want to deal with this hell that this area is going to become when they come here. Well, actually, they're already here. Like the hotels right now.
They're already here.
The hotels right now are getting booked up like last minute, nonstop. I'm like, oh God, they're coming.
Germany and Ecuador, that's pretty good. I just love the fact that FIFA was like, so the two best things, or the two funniest things, is obviously the stadium name change.
Right.
But Jerry Jones is going to put the curtains down.
Yeah.
For one of the games.
That'll fix your Sun issue.
Well, he's only doing it for that one game, and then he's getting rid of the curtains.
If the sun gets in my glorious King Ronaldo's eyes, I will.
I mean, he is God.
Yeah, I know, but
how?
Like,
I have to imagine he's played at least one game with the sun in his face. I imagine he knows how to handle it.
Yes, I know.
But directly in your face?
But I don't want this to be us against the Cowboys where Jalen's staring, or his corneas are staring directly into the sun.
But that's what I'm saying. They got shades for that early window game in the group stage in Dallas. So they have shades.
What is
Vivo was like, we're putting on shades.
Are we playing all 3 games? Are we playing all 3 games in Houston for our group stage, or where are we playing?
I have to double check. I think so. I'll double check.
One of them's in Miami, right? I think.
I'm not certain. Where you're in where are you again for your training ground? Where are you
Miami.
specifically in Florida? Miami Gardens, right?
Yeah.
Is that still Hard Rock Stadium? Or are they changing that? Like, they have to change that too? Okay.
But yeah, they have to change it. But so Houston. No, let me look at teams. I'll be honest. I think the best part about the World Cup is this app. FIFA did a good job with their mobile app for the. World
they have
Cup.
a mobile. Remind me to download that because there's no way I'll remember.
Yeah. Crap.
What?
Host countries, UEFA. Oh my God, Scoop! Did you watch the Bosnian national anthem?
I don't think. Did you send it to me? I didn't see it.
Yes, I did. I sent it to you earlier.
I don't know where you sent it to me. So either resend it or just
you again.
Just tell me what app you're sending it on.
Yeah. So you have your first 2 games are Oh, by the way, all on Fox. Portugal, Congo, Houston. Portugal.
Fox is loaded with content this weekend.
I know. Well, they got the World Cup for like half price, which is crazy.
Hi, Mr. Wiltsey.
Download that
app. All right, forget it. Jersey's on. Jersey is on.
And
Portugal, Uzbekistan, and Houston.
That jersey, that jersey is fire.
Yeah, I have my USA shirt, but I'm not wearing it until the World Cup. Colombia, Portugal is in Miami, so
nice.
But yeah, Scoop, I can't talk about Italy because Italy stinks. You guys suck.
I heard you the first time.
I genuinely, and I even said this before you even told me this, Rob. If we don't at least make the semis, it's a failure.
But that's funny because that's what I'm saying for the USA, for our national team. I'm saying quarters are failure, but I'm not even thinking we're gonna get out the group. So, yeah.
What date is the? Help me out. What's it called? Selection show?
What selection show?
No, they assigned the groups and everything.
Oh, that was like 2 years ago, dude.
Yeah. No, you said there was something coming up this weekend.
What? I'm trying to think what's coming up.
You said a couple days ago. You said something was happening this weekend for soccer.
Well, just World Cup prep. I mean, it's just all the international friendlies. By the way, did you see Ivory Coast beat Germany this morning? Like 2-1.
Oh no, Côte d'Ivoire. I didn't even know they played this morning.
I get it's a friendly, but these African nations are kind of balling in these friendlies.
Respect.
It definitely, yeah. I'm not concerned about a friendly yet, because also too, you got to also realize, it's cool to if a team that's an underdog wins it, but also they're not giving 110% like they are during the World Cup either.
No way.
Right.
By the way.
Oh boy.
Scoop,
oh boy.
Two games are on Tubi, as well as on Fox.
Those have to be crap games. What games are those?
The first game, Mexico and South Africa, which is gonna be good, and then the first US game they're also on Fox, like they're on regular Fox, but they're on Tubi as well.
Okay, that makes a major. I mean, at least I have Tubi now because of that friggin' film that we watched on Football After Hours. But
just watch it on Fox. Why would you watch it on Tubi if the game's on Fox?
Okay, Rob, can I finish, please? What I was going to say is, at least I have Tubi. If it weren't on Fox because of that film that we had to watch, But if there's an exclusive during this World Cup on Tubi, that will royally piss me off.
No. Luckily, they're not exclusives. But
I swear,
Tubi's got some crazy content now.
Yeah, they do.
Crazy.
It does. The crazy. You know what Scoop is getting so close tonight to doing his Skip Bayless. It's my turn. It is.
I don't know
my
why.
turn.
This is why I come on the show. I yell.
Please,
I want to interrupt.
Please don't ever let me become somebody that you can liken to Skip Bayless. Please, I will feel so bad for everybody watching, everybody working with me. I'll feel so bad to everybody if I become Skip Bayless.
You're getting close, my friend. You're getting close.
I can feel it when you're like, what the hell is it? When Kanye West interrupts Taylor Swift.
I was gonna say that earlier. I was gonna make that joke earlier, which, by the way, less than a month until that wedding. But,
oh my God, we're still talking about that stupid wedding. Dude.
I said one sentence about it. Holy crap!
Okay, listen.
You're the one with the poster up.
People, I get it. People are like freaking out about the guest list, and if like Scooter Braun's gonna be at the wedding, Scooter ain't gonna be at the damn wedding. What are we talking about?
See, I didn't even know that. So why are you? Yet you're telling me that I'm talking about it too much, and I didn't even know that.
Because it's on my feed. Because it's Travis Kelce, so it's on my feed every single day. Also, I think Portugal's game is on the day of the wedding. I think. So,
July 3rd?
I mean, why would
July 3rd?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. So never mind. So that's
I was gonna say no, yeah,
that's a quarters game. It could be, but
it could be. But our last group stage game is the 27th against Colombia, and I'm watching that with my buddies because he is Colombian, and we're gonna roast him. We're gonna roast him because he's the only Colombian in our friend group, and there's literally like. So it's like he's the one Colombian friend.
Do I know this human?
No, but you guys haven't met him. But he's my longest friend. I've been friends with him since we were 5 years old. So I've been friends with him for 21 years.
Okay, yeah, you've told me about him at least.
So, but the thing is, I'm obviously part Portuguese. Like 2 or 3 of my friends are full Portuguese. So it's just gonna be a bunch of pork chops invading his house just to roast him when we beat Colombia.
Well, even then, it's the last. It's so stupid that it schedules the last game of the group stage when you guys are both going to make it through. I mean, look, we've talked about this over and over. Yeah, I would say the most important games to watch that first week, like Thursday to Sunday bunch. I would say Mexico, South Africa is actually going to be more interesting than people think, just because Shakira's doing the opening and like.
God,
interesting.
Yeah.
Who did you say it was? Shakira, BTS, Chris Martin, and the other one?
The opening ceremony.
Oh, okay. I got them.
The opening ceremony.
Okay, I got them transposed.
USA Paraguay is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Brazil Morocco is going to be great on that first Saturday. That's going to be so good. I cannot wait for that.
Morocco has a second chance to destroy a Portuguese-speaking country's hopes.
Netherlands, Japan on that first Sunday should be great. And that's pretty much it for the weekend. There's a lot of bad games that opening weekend. There's a lot of games that I don't care about.
I'm going to be following y'all's lead on this one because this is the first World Cup I've watched in about 14 years, I think.
Well, you better watch most of the games because this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
How packed do you think like, for example, Brandon, how packed do you think like Haiti and Scotland are gonna be? Like in Boston. Like, dude, are we gonna have like packed crowds for like these opening games that are stupid?
The second you even said those 2 teams, I was just hitting you with the Jimmy Butler confusion face. And I was like, what the like I don't even think they have enough fans to fill a stadium. Either one of them. So
in Boston,
no. Oh my God! I mean, Scotland maybe, but definitely not Haiti. Man, that's not gonna. I mean, listen, you're gonna get people to go just for the sake of saying that you went to a World Cup game, but I don't know if it'll sell out. Just because who wants to watch literally like basically two, JV high school teams play each other. That's basically what it'll look like. So
the two games I'm most scared about that first like opening week is like in terms of blowout potential. I think Canada and Bosnia. I think Canada's gonna roast them.
Poor Boston.
Germany and Carousel is gonna be disgusting on that first Sunday.
Germany is
disgusting.
Because Germany's gonna give them the Michael Irvin belt to ass. So like, there's no way.
Oh God, not Michael
How
Irvin.
about Spain? How about Spain and Cape Verde on the first Monday? Oh my God, Spain's gonna roast them.
Oh, I wouldn't even get off the bus if I was Cape Verde. I wouldn't. The second honestly, I wouldn't even get out of the locker room. I'd be too scared. We're gonna die. So I'm gonna save myself from injury, and I'll see you guys in 4 years.
Oh no.
I mean, obviously, we talk about your Congo game. Oh my God, yeah, Wednesday, June 17th, 4:00 Eastern on Fox is your best game. England and Croatia.
Yeah.
Is going to be
Okay.
really
That's a really good game. Should be.
I have to backtrack. I did watch a Croatia game in 2018.
Well, yeah, when they were in like the semis. What? No, they were in the final that year.
Yeah.
Were they? Yeah. I'm trying to see. Are those like the only two like gross matches? Oh, never mind. Spain versus Saudi Arabia. Oh no. I mean, the Saudis are okay, but I think what else is like really gross here. Oh my God, Belgium and Iran. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cape Verde has Uruguay too? Oh hell. Oh hell on a handbasket.
They're basically just telling Cape Verde, hey, listen, thanks for coming out, but goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh my God.
This is like this World Cup with all these teams. It's like this is almost
it's so oversaturated. Like, am I gonna watch these stupid games? Yes. But am I gonna do it with a smile on my face? Probably not.
This is like if you go to a big family reunion with people you haven't seen in like over a decade, right? And it's like you see the ones that you love growing up, your aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever.
Yeah.
And you see like the weird ones that are on like the bottom of the family tree, like like a second cousin or whatever.
Like the fourth cousins in.
Yeah, like that. Like so, you're like your uncles, your cousins, like all the ones you love. That's your Portugal, your Spain, your France, your England, Croatia, all that stuff. Like all that stuff.
And then here's Cape Verde.
And you're like, we have the same name, but I don't know who you are.
Yeah, it's like, and then you got Cape Verde, Curacao, Ivory Coast. Basically, they're the ones saying, "Oh yeah, like your Aunt Karen, that's my mom's long lost sister that reconnected after 10 years or whatever." I'm like, I don't know you, bro. You're not us. That's how I feel with when it comes to those smaller teams. I'm just like, listen, I feel so bad for them because there's no shot they're gonna go anywhere in this World Cup. But it's like I would love to see one of those Cinderella teams make it through.
Yeah.
But my God, none of them are gonna get out of the first. The ones that do get to the knockout stage, they're gone immediately.
Who was it? Which country was it that you said yesterday that y'all were gonna take down 10-0, or you said that you guys would maybe win?
It's Congo. Guys,
Congo.
To finish today, do you guys want to look at the Madden and college football reveals?
I was just gonna ask if you wanted to cover that because I just got those.
This is awful. This Madden reveal is terrible. First off, the MVP membership thing, dude. The fact that I have to pay extra to get all playable mascots for college football day one makes me so angry.
Screw that.
It's stupid. So here's your pre-order bonuses.
Is that good enough that we were paying for roster updates the last 14 years?
Gameplay gets more physical with precise control from authentic wide receiver DB battles. We've heard this for years. Short yardage mechanics. I want to know more about that.
Yeah.
Defensive coverage improvements, pre-play settings, basic. Okay, so basically we're going to up the presentation. Who cares? Franchise, all-new persona engine, stupid marketing speak, gives every NFL athlete a distinct personality that informs their motivations, how they think, how they respond, transforming your franchise.
They did that 2 or 3 years ago.
That's exactly what I said. GOAT career journey, progress through high school fame with deeper skill trees, career choices.
So basically, they're just gonna copy what they did in CFB to Madden.
I mean, they did that last year. I want to look at what so a living league, persona engine. We wanted stars who could get frustrated, negotiations. Oh yeah. Oh, so here's what's gonna happen. Jalen Hurts is gonna get angry, and you're gonna have to trade him. That's what's gonna happen in Madden this year. Great. Inspired by real life. Player holdouts. Holdouts. Yes.
Okay. Now they're cooking.
Player trade demands. Players can now trade. Oh no.
Wait, hang on. For the love of, I try not to say God on the show, but please tell me that they have the contract restructures and things of that nature.
I'm looking for it. Roster management screen, news that actually feels like news, a draft ticker, interactive contract negotiations. Completely rebuilt the negotiation experiments into a multi-session minigame. Now! It's a minigame. What is this, Madden 12?
Well, it sounds kind of like what they did in franchise for the show.
Yeah, that's stupid. I hate minigames. Okay. Guaranteed contracts, void years. Longer free agent deals.
Sorry.
Players can now negotiate out of their final year. Thank God. Okay.
You know what's crazy is right now, with the further down this list you go, like, first of all, this is basically you talking dirty to Scoop.
Yeah.
Free agents. This should have been in the game 10 years ago. Watch, it's going to be stupid minigame.
This is basically you talking dirty to Scoop. This is like, with all our contracts and legalese and whatnot that's in this game. Like,
real coordinators.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's what I like.
A real coach mode. Pre-order bonuses. Oh yeah, guess what? You get a pre-order bonus. Dynamic weather conditions.
Okay, so I see. So
CPU
they were putting the good.
Logic's going to be terrible.
Okay, so the good stuff was in the bottom. All
right. I again, it's just going to be a bunch of stupid mini games. Watch.
Brandon, shut up.
Look at Kirk Cinetti in this photo in the trailer.
Bro, why is he hitting the Tony Stark face?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tony Soprano.
Oh, by the way, this photo is AI. I've gotten multiple reports that this photo is AI. So,
we know it is. Come on now.
But there's
shit, Grimace.
Explosive DB battles, streamlined so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I think we read that already. Oh shit!
All new Dynasty Blueprint puts you can actually have apparently fights in the locker room, which sounds great. All new Dynasty Blueprint puts you control, navigate athletic director expectations, and use Dynasty points for recruiting. And
is Jose Caballero going to make his way into Madden?
This is CFB. Look at this. The Heisman Trophy is actually in the game.
Ooh!
We should have had that a year ago. Road to Glory. Define your path to Road to Glory. New customization options and positions. Earn NIL deals. Chase the Heisman. Develop your draft stock. Legacy score.
They're so hell bent on that legacy score.
Mascot Mashup is back, but you got to pay for all the mascots.
I couldn't give two hoots about that.
This is one of the worst photos I've ever seen of Lane Kiffin. When I saw this morning,
what the hell?
Road to the college football playoff. Let's look at
Okay.
Dynasty really quick. I want to see what the hell they added in here.
That ain't Lane Kiffin. I'm sorry to break it to you, bud. That's not Lane Kiffin.
Build your coach. This is like old marketing speak. Oh yeah, this is a great made menu. It's the same crap as last year.
Bro, that main menu, just the graphic of the checklist on the left, that is giving so hard Madden 13.
Exactly. Again, this is contracts. Okay,
bro. Okay, hang on. You're going way too fast. Can you go back to the athletic director thing for a second?
Yeah, this is the athletic director stuff.
Okay.
Relationship with your athletic. It's just saying that it matters. Basically, it's saying that if you're Ohio State, your main expectation is to beat Michigan every year. Should have been the expectation years ago. Contracts, school demeanor.
The hell is that?
At schools, failing a key active can make you lose your job security. Okay, fine. Program priorities, goals. This is all just stupid marketing. Who cares? What the hell? Program overview?
Can I ask you, what are you actually looking for? Because you just keep saying this is all marketing speak for the last 5 minutes. What are you actually looking for?
Because this is my point with EA for years. It's like they have these cool features and you play them for a month and they're just stupid. Yeah. Because all these features are, Scoop, is just new menus. They're not interactive. They're not interesting. They put in these RPG elements and it's just menus. It's just menus that don't matter. Like, this is just all of this is just menus that you're gonna look at for 5 minutes and play the game. It's stupid. There's nothing interesting here. Like, okay, they're all menu screenshots. Why does it matter so much? It's because this is my point, right?
I'm listening.
They put Madden and college football in particular put up these like big tentpole features, and all it really is menus that are going to be laggy again, and just like, okay, wide receiver DB battles. Brandon knows this. You played Madden since like Madden what? When's the first Madden you played?
07.
They've been yelling about wide receiver DB battles since Madden 04.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here, man? Like, change the game or don't change the game, but don't throw this garbage at me every year of like, we're improving this, we're improving that, we're doing this, nobody cares, man. Because all this is just menus. Look at this. I'll show you this thing. Look at this. Here's their first like tentpole thing on the gameplay section.
I keep thinking you're saying Deadpool.
Jesus. Defense wins championships. Great. So we're gonna make defense harder, is basically what you're saying. Smarter coverage. Everyone knows that the coverage is gonna look like trash. What is smarter coverage? You fix the AI a little bit? Who cares?
Yeah.
CB death. This is last year. They're just improving the stuff that was in the game last year. Zone awareness. Red zone awareness. How many times have we played Madden and they don't even know they're in the red zone? How you're just adjusting the AI slightly.
I'm not sure. I don't usually make it to the red zone.
Stack formations, good. Bunch formations, good.
See, I don't make it to the red zone either, but for different reasons. So
you know what?
Defensive playbooks. Look, we're adding new formations. You add new formations every year. Who cares? Route awareness. What does this mean?
Well, see, that's the whole thing. But it's less that I talk about with Madden, and I just see this in general with sports video games. Like, they put intentionally very vague, we improved this, we addressed this, we tackled this, no pun intended. But so you're looking at that, and if it's a little bit better, then you'll
Then
think
it's a
then you'll
game.
think oh great. But like I would love to see, and this is just how my brain works because I'm a very detail oriented human being, but I would love to see these things will now happen in these scenarios. Like I would love to see them actually explain, okay, you improved it. How? When will I see it? And what will I see?
Well, I see it, but it's so minuscule. By the way, look at this. Ratings versus ratings. You're telling me that wide receiver DB battles was never about ratings in the first place? Oh,
Yeah,
look
what the
at
hell
this.
was the point of that?
Look at this. You can jostle now. What?
Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Got a Mr. Wilty thing here. It says completely off topic. I don't even know if we were on a topic, but completely off topic. T-shirts, hats, and mugs coming to the summer to you guys. Thank you, Mr. Wilty. Oh, also,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Wilty, remind me to reach out to you because my address is going to be changing in a couple months. So remind me to reach out to you on that matter.
Built from game day. Who cares? Short yards gameplay. Brandon.
I don't even know what that means.
Brandon.
Tush push.
This is Madden 10. Look at this. The tush push. Look at the screenshot and tell me if it looks any different from like Madden 2010.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It looks awful, man. And look, the tush push being in the game, great. QB sneak meter? We need a meter? Before the snap, the game evaluates the push strength. QB push strength is influenced by strength and weight ratings. Once the meter begins, your job is the timing window as cleanly as possible.
What?
What?
So this
We're
is
making the tush push a meter like a kickoff.
So this is basically the 2K shot meter for layups.
Why?
Doesn't make sense.
I love the fact that we're bringing the tush push in, but I just absolutely know it's going to be absolutely like I'm going to hate using it for some reason. I don't know why. I just know I'm going to hate using it for some reason.
Look, all of this is we improve the animation AI. Who cares?
Feed the Oh, okay. Question. Because this is something I just don't. You guys know more about this in this specific area than I do. Is the engine on which they are now running Madden the same engine on which they run CFB?
And Battlefield.
Yeah.
What the hell is Battlefield?
It's a shooter.
Yeah.
The same engine, dude.
Rob, I can't begin. You know that I haven't played shooter games, but okay, thank you.
So listen, Scoop. Madden is built off an engine that started off a game based on World War I. So
yeah.
What? Why?
Exactly.
Why? What is the correlation there?
Because they wanted all the games to be connected under this one engine that stinks for sports games.
But war and okay. I feel like I'm just doing this. Okay.
Well,
when it's the model starts learning when the field looks like this, run like this. What?
Isn't there
what?
Well, isn't there that famous
what the hell does that even mean?
Isn't there that famous was it George Carlin thing where he compares football to war?
Yes, I love that. Well, he he juxtaposes Madden. He juxtaposes baseball with football.
Yeah, yeah.
When players get hot, they perform better and can maintain access to their X Factor ability.
That already existed.
It basically already exists. Coach chat. What?
What the hell is coach chat?
Open the dynamic subs meter, and you can. Oh, you're basically can talk to the players during like.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
I was
we're
about to say, I'm like, this is gonna be me and like Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. All right, I got it. Why is he still talking? I got it.
Yes. Oh my god, I love that clip.
Oh my god, that screenshot looks.
You're not gonna believe what I'm getting here right now.
Oh my god, that looks awful.
What in the?
Look at the snow.
Why are they playing in a dust storm? Oh, that's snow. I thought that was dust.
That's snow. That's
looks like
snow.
Looks like a sandstorm.
Oh my god, Brandon. Look at the offensive line. Look how broken that looks.
Yeah, it's that.
Why is
First of all, wait a minute. Look at how low. Look at how low the Michigan O lineman. Look how low his hands are compared to the guy that's trying to get past him. Your hands should never be basically like to your side, like that. Like that is an awful picture. Oh God,
Oh my
an
god.
awful picture. It's an awful picture in many ways.
What the?
Weather is now more authentic to the location and time of year.
They
What?
they did that 4 years ago. They did that in like Madden 21. Player degradation. Player degradation is an insane phrase. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah. Growth and dominance, which basically just more abilities.
Yeah, I feel like I've
in
seen half
college
of those
football,
already.
You have tiers. Don't care. This is stupid.
Wait, hang on. Wait, can you go back to the tiers thing real quick? What was after platinum?
Heisman.
Oh, okay. I couldn't read what the word was.
Play your way. Coach mode. So now there's coach mode. So that's useful. I
don't know. I wish they had never gotten rid of that in the first place.
Timing, catching, it's been in the game forever. Slightly early, perfect late, whatever. I'm just scrolling through this and I can already tell you this is stupid. New tackle stick. So up is a hit stick, down is a cut stick, left is a lunge tackle, right is a rat tackle. What? Why are we adding in the stick to a tackle? We don't just tackle the play. Oh my god!
I'm literally just gonna play it the same way I always do. Up, hit, stick, X tackle. Don't care.
Total pre-play control that was
Wait,
in there
hang on.
last year.
Okay.
Global coverage adjustments. Okay, so we have more coverage adjustments. Great. But guess what? The flat ain't actually going to cover the flat because it always doesn't. Receiver coverage, back off, press. See what I mean? This is all just added menus. You're just adding more menus to something that already has a ton of menus. There's no point for this.
What's that?
Custom adjustments.
What's that exhibit meme? It's like, yo, dog, we heard you like menus, so we added menus on top of your menus. Like,
basically, there's
that one
so
I haven't
many menus, bro. Oh, look at this. You can probably defend a screen pass. Yay. Yay. We can actually defend screen passes now. Good. Oh my god, this is a ton of marketing speak. Well, that was dumb. Dude, wait till the trailers come out and you're gonna see, like, not only did we see like what you said with the hands and the offensive linemen and stuff. Wait until you actually see the trailers and like the running back or like a wide receiver misses the coverage assignment or something.
Oh,
just wait for that, bro. Oh my god. And again, the fact that they're adding in a subscription model to Madden and college football.
Yeah, I can't get past that.
It's unbelievable that we're doing this. That we're basically monetizing franchise mode. We're monetizing Road to Glory even more. Why?
I have no idea.
Why are we monetizing an offline mode or an online mode that you just play with friends in your spare time? Why are we doing this?
I guess they're not making enough money off MUT anymore.
Which they are, if you look at their yearly earnings.
I haven't.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my reaction. I just scrolled through the whole thing in 5 minutes, and it's just
that was 5 minutes.
And it's just a bunch of nothing. It's just a bunch of nothing. It's just a bunch of menus, and they say, "Oh, the AI is gonna be improved," and then watch. A month into the game coming out, Brandon's gonna call me and be like, "I just got screwed by AI again." Yeah. Watch. I mean, I'm sorry. And again, you want to spend $70, or let's put it this way, $150.
Wait, how did you jump that number?
Pre-order bonuses. Let's throw this out there. $150 plus I don't know, $15 subscription on top of it per month to play Madden and college football if you really wanted to get that deep? Do we really care? I just, oh my God. I'm excited for the trailers to come out. Because when the gameplay trailers come out and we show you guys how broken this game is,
Yeah.
just wait.
You know what we should do?
I hope I'm wrong. But I'm promising you I'm not. Because we just looked at the screenshots and it looked like Madden NFL 10.
You know what we should do? So you know how you hooked me up with our FA tweet?
Oh, the Twitch account? Yeah.
Yeah, for FA. We should or as many of us as want to, go on there when it comes out and kind of test it out in real time and get our live reactions to the game.
I'll be real. You're going to love franchise mode, and then within a month, you're going to hate it.
Yep.
There's no point to do a review when it comes out. Because, here's the thing. I always review the games when it comes out. I gave CFB a 6. I gave Madden a 4. Because, Brandon, dude, Madden or College Football 26 is so much worse than 25.
Oh, yeah.
Gameplay mechanically,
it
is
is
so bad.
I didn't get a chance to play 25, so I didn't.
25 is one of the most fun. 25 is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had playing a football game in years. Because 25 is just arcadey. Yeah. It's not really meant to be serious. And then so many of the CFB and Madden professional players were complaining about it, that they tune the game so aggressively that it's almost unplayable. It's 20 Scoop. You should go out and play 25 because it's so much better. It is so much better just from a gameplay perspective. It still has its bugs and its glitches, but it's so much more forgiving than 26 is. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm so pissed off that we're stuck with this system of animations and there's no animation canceling in Madden, or the animation canceling is so broken. And animation canceling basically means when I move my stick to the left and then I move it to the right, it has a 3-second delay before the guy moves to the right side.
Yeah.
There's and then the menus are broken. The game, I'm serious. Madden broke my old Xbox controller. It literally broke it.
Jeez.
Because the menus are so broken. I don't know how to move my bumpers around. I can't. As much as I respect the Madden team and the college football team, I can't with this engine anymore. I can't. I just can't, man. I genuinely cannot. The older I get with these games, the more frustrated I get with them.
Yeah.
I have never, I don't know. I was really trying to get into Madden 26 this year, and I know, Brandon, you were as well. And other than our leagues, we've gotten so pissed off with the game, we can barely play it.
Yeah. It's so bad.
And I feel that way about college football right now, too. I just can't do it. It's so annoying. And Call of Duty's in a bad state. Call of Duty's run better right now. I'm just being real. And Call of Duty's awful right now.
And COD fans, especially longtime COD fans, don't even like the new COD game, or the newer ones in general.
And the newer ones, and I think it's better.
Yeah,
I honestly think it's better than Madden's been the last 5 years.
It's not.
And I don't even think COD's that good.
Yeah.
It's and the fact that the developers are we're listening to you, and they're just oh, here's more AI features.
Yeah.
Do we want that? Or have we been asking for, hey, let's get rid of all of these animations and actually put back physics in the game like we all want?
Yeah. I would rather go back and play Madden from Madden 09 through Madden 25 because those Maddens were the last really good ones.
At least they were a lot more kind of arcadey, a lot more physics based, somewhat physics based. They didn't go all the way to animations.
First
like they
version
did
Madden.
now.
I think I said this yesterday, but first version Madden 25 was probably my favorite Madden.
Yeah, I would recommend Scoop to go on it like on your computer and find an emulator and play like Madden 04, Madden 05,
I'm not good with that stuff, but if someone can help me get to that, I will.
like NFL 2K5, like that stuff. Like it was buggy, yeah.
But those games are so much better.
They were so much better. They were so much better. And I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that John Madden puts his name on this game, and this is what it's come to.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then college football being added into it when 25 was such a breath of fresh air for the game. And then they just completely get rid of it.
Yeah, then 26 just crapped all over it.
Yeah.
CFP 25 is Joker. CFP 26 is Fully Ado.
Pretty much. It's yeah.
Who was the second one you said?
Fully Ado.
Fully Ado, the second Joker movie.
Okay.
Which I saw, by the way, in theaters and hated. Anyway,
it was on TV the other day. I watched it. I was like, "Oh God, I'm so glad I didn't go watch this."
How many minutes did you? How many minutes did you get into it? Before you turned it off.
Put it this way: I caught the last. I didn't start watching it. I caught the last half hour of it. I watched. I watched 5 minutes of that last half hour when we turned it on. Oh no! Hold on.
What happened?
No, but that movie is terrible.
What's going on?
I don't know. Brandon's buggy. But no, like I watched the movie in theaters and it was bad. Whenever that movie's on TV, I cringe. It's one of those movies where I just cringe so much. But yeah, man, I'm so sad. Brandon's like literally stuck. I gotta tell him that he's stuck.
Oh, he's gone now. Stuck. No, he's gone. He's not on my screen anymore.
But yeah, like I'm just sad, man. Like I know, Scoop, you haven't played Madden for very long because the old Madden 25, it's been a good while. But I've played Madden since. Well, I played Madden 04 a lot.
I mean, saying I haven't played Madden for a long time is a little bit. I don't know if I agree with. I mean, I've played it for 14 years.
I know, but I've been playing it for 20. I've been playing it for like.
I know, but I mean, you've been playing it for longer, yeah. But I've still played it for a while.
I'm just saying, like I really miss what Madden used to be, just as a core. I really miss it. Like the more that I play these new games, the more disgusted I become.
Well, like, I mean, it makes sense because what they're building on top of is the mistakes of the bad stuff that they put down in previous years. So, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. And again, like to have a World War I game engine for Madden,
I'm still confused by that.
Yep. Yeah. They're using an engine
because it wasn't the engine because that wasn't the engine they started on. They only changed it in I think 16 or 17.
They changed it in 17 because 18 because FIFA used it in 17 and they liked it because how it works is FIFA does something first, then Madden, then FIFA, Madden, UFC. That's how it works.
Okay.
And so, but yeah.
Well,
but yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It just
since
sucks.
we don't know. Since we don't know if we're getting Brandon back, did he say anything to you?
I'm just checking with him. But I think he just bugged out. But no, it's sad, man. That's all I really gotta say. I'm sad.
Yeah,
and every year that they do all this promo for the new game, I'm just like, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it for 10 hours on EA Play, and then I'm done. I just don't care. I just don't.
There he is. He returned.
You lagged out, Brandon. Are you good?
No, I lagged out because my phone died.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm honestly kind of relieved by that because I mean, at least it's not another tech issue that you're facing.
Yeah. Anything else, guys, before we go? Because I just
Well-
wanted to quickly go through the Madden stuff.
Well, we were gonna talk about the trade request in the NHL, and we were gonna talk about the lifetime bans that happened in the NBA Game 1.
The fan stuff?
Yeah.
That was just funny. All right, I'll let you guys do that. That's all I got for today. Peace.
See ya. So basically, for those who missed it, in Game 1 of the NBA Final between the Spurs and the Knicks, there was a fan who ran onto the court during the fourth quarter and tried to take a selfie with Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. This fan tried to run on the field or the court, excuse me. Play stopped with about 6 minutes and 28 seconds remaining. And the fan ran on with a cell phone and tried to take a picture near Wemby and Mitchell Robinson. And 2 guards were basically having to escort him off the court. He has been banned for life, and there will be a second individual who also will be banned for life. So, Brandon, honestly, this reminded me of. Do you remember this happened during the NFL season at I think it might have been a Seahawks game?
I'm trying to
Something
remember.
similar happened to this.
It was Seahawks Rams, and it was a Giants game a few years ago too.
Yeah.
I do actually have to completely go because my friends invited me to go.
Go ahead.
Bowling. So I'm gonna catch you guys later.
Go ahead.
Have fun. Some bowling. So I'm actually like, do you guys really quick? Do you guys hear my voice that I'm actually a lot better than I was yesterday?
Yeah, it sounds
like
a lot
I
better.
am like so much better today. So
That's good.
But no, it was a Seahawks game, and I think it was the Giants game. Do you guys remember the black cat?
Yes.
Thing. It reminds me of that. That's what it always reminds me of when and in every Super Bowl, fans run on the field in like the last 5 years.
I mean, I've honestly seen it the most in baseball games. I see a couple times a year. I see fans doing it. I see fans do it a couple times a year at Yankee Stadium. I mean, actually, can I tell a funny story real quick?
Yeah. But before I go, I want to hear this actually.
Okay, so when I was still in New Jersey, I went to a game with some friends. It was Yankees versus Tampa. It was one of the last games of the regular season. I want to say this was in 2017. And excuse me. No, 2017. What am I saying? I meant 2021. Pardon me. I got everything messed up. 2021. And we went as a big group of us. Actually, one of my professors from a poli-sci course was part of the group that went. Which was kind of fun. And we were all sitting up there. A couple of individuals had adult beverages. I was not one of them. And this was during the era where things were very raw still after what happened with the Houston, New York thing. So there was a lot of, 4-letter words for Altuve and people. And we, about middle of the game, one of the guys, I'm not going to out him, because I don't know if he watches the show or not, or if anybody who watches the show knows him, so I'm not going to out him. But one guy said to me, and he's nudging me, I don't know if he was intoxicated or not, says to me, Scoop, are you going to rush the field? Scoop, are you going to rush the field? I'm looking at this guy.
That's an intoxicated thing to say. I know because I've been intoxicated.
I'm looking at this guy, and I'm looking at the group who are all, wise to this. And I'm thinking, you're looking at me and asking if I'm going to rush the field? Me? Really?
I'm sorry, Scoop. I don't mean to laugh at your physical predicaments, but that's funny.
No, I'm saying it for that reason. I'm like, really?
Me? Well, that tells you that the guy is drunk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that was, but it's still hilarious to me. because I've been back to Yankee Stadium I think 2 or 3 times since then. Unfortunately, one of them was Game 4 of the 2022 ALCS, but which I'm sure Jody's going to make a comment about if he's still watching. But I absolutely, every time I go to Yankee Stadium or every time I see a fan rush on the field, I think of that game. But Rob, go bowling.
Yeah, no, but I think I've asked Brandon this question. Scoop, what's your favorite memory at Yankee Stadium? I don't think I've ever asked you that question.
Okay, so I can answer one of 2 ways. I think my favorite memory in terms of having just a game that I've been at was definitely, I have to say, Game 3 of the 2024 World Series. I mean, just getting to be at a World Series game is, a bucket list thing. So, and the seats. I mean, I would have said anywhere to be at that game. That was just an incredible experience. I'm also eternally grateful that I was not at Game 5. But
oh, God bless you.
I'm eternally grateful that I was not at Game 5 because someone might have actually had to help me, and I'll just leave it at that.
I like that everyone blames Fat Joe for that game.
I still do.
You still do?
I don't because I barely. I'm here. Here's the thing. I wouldn't know who Fat Joe was if not for that game.
You didn't know who Fat Joe was before that game?
No,
dude. Yeah.
I mean, it's backwards on my screen, but yeah, I know what you're showing me.
Yeah, baby.
This is literally probably his best album. But
Don Card, I can't see anymore.
Oh yeah, wait. Yeah.
Don Carjanica.
Yeah. But the thing
question is do people call him Fat Joe because he's actually fat? The guy has never been skinny for as long as I've seen him. Was he ever skinny?
Well, he's skinnier now. If you saw him back in the day, he was hefty. But
I'm sorry, Scoop. I just derailed your show. Talking about Fat Joe.
I mean, here's the thing. To me, listen, it's gonna sound cringy coming from somebody who should be, past this stage in his life, but to say that because we always talk about something having aura, having a real sense of aura, like Fat Joe doesn't have aura. Not like Nas does.
He's just Fat Joe.
Yeah, like Nas does. DMX used to when he was alive. That would have made sense in the Bronx. Not Fat Joe. Fat Joe has no aura in New York City.
If I were at that game and they started playing Made You Look by Nas, I would have screamed my larynx to shreds.
If you would have gotten Nas,
my favorite rap song of all time.
If you would have gotten Nas out there, if you would have gotten, well, obviously you couldn't get him at that time, but at some point in a World Series, if you would have gotten DMX out there, God rest his soul. If you would have gotten, literally, you could name Jadakiss. You could name so many New York rappers. The last person I would want on the field to do a song to hype up the crowd and to kind of get the game going. The last person I want. And he's not a bad rapper, but he's nowhere near one of the best. Especially in that area, New York City, with the birthplace of hip hop, he is not even close to one of the best New York rappers ever. And so it's the one thing he's known for back in the day, and also kind of being a hefty guy, Fat Joe. Him and Big Pun, Punisher.
I don't know who that is.
They're both.
I'm sorry, I only know Punisher from the comic books, so I actually don't know who that is.
But yeah, Big Pun, Big Pun and Fat Joe basically ran in the same circles. They were.
Oh,
I think they were label mates together. They were friends. They were good friends.
Okay.
But both of them are heavy set guys, especially back in the day. Well, Big Pun died because eventually him being too heavy, he died.
Oh no.
He was only about.
Oh, I do know who this guy is. I didn't know his name, but I know the face.
Yeah, he was only about 30 when he died, or something like that.
That's sad.
But
died 2 months before I was born. That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
He's considered one of the best, even New York rappers of all time. He's Puerto Rican. But
the Puerto Rican heritage in your guys' area is spectacular.
Oh,
It's awesome, man.
Any Spanish / Hispanic / Portuguese heritage, like the Spanish and Portuguese, those basically, mixing of cultures, the Romance languages are
Yep.
huge in New Jersey.
Right.
Huge.
The bodega, baby.
Yeah, New Jersey and New York are known for bodegas, Spanish music, Portuguese culture, like anything to do with the basically those not so much France and not so much Italy. Well, no, Italy too. Not so much France. 3 of the 4 Romance languages, basically Italy, Portugal, Spain.
Did France surrender there too?
Because the only place you'll find French stuff is basically in the south and towards the west. So, not so much in the Northeast. In the Northeast, it's very, especially in the tri-state area. So New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, this area. Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish / Hispanic. That's basically what you get. So it's a big deal here when you have the Yankees, who now when they come onto the field, by the way, they come out to Nueva York by Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
So like Spanish culture is a big deal in New York City, and so I get why Fat Joe is there, because Fat Joe is Hispanic himself, Hispanic heritage, but he's still the last redneck. If you want to pump up a Yankee crowd, a New York crowd, Fat Joe is not the answer.
No, never.
I pulled up a list just because I'm not as well versed on this as you are. Here's like a list of the top names that are showing up. French Montana.
Yes.
LL.
Yes. Brandon doesn't like. Okay, wait. I need to. Pause.
I know we've talked about this before.
So French Montana, like his popular stuff, I really like. I need to get into more of his stuff. But Brandon thinks he's so basic, and that's part of why I like him.
I know. We've
part.
had this conversation before.
I like whenever Scoop says French Montana, or I say French Montana. Brandon just sighs.
Yeah. There's Busta Rhymes. I know that one.
Yes, Busta.
I forgot.
50 Cent, LL Cool J, Rakim is probably the one. He's the one I know the least on here.
The list goes on. It could have been any one of them. It could have been.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The last would have been great, by the way, for that.
I don't know this last one. I don't know KRS-One.
KRS-One's a legend. He's from the 80s and the 90s. But KRS-One is basically a street legend in New York City. Now it's like if you really know hip hop and rap music,
I'll never claim to.
Yeah, like if you know it, you know who KRS-One is. He's considered one of the best lyricists in hip hop history and all these different things. And he's
I know you and I are big lyric guys.
Yeah, so he's definitely one of those kinds of guys. But the thing is, if you're not well versed in hip hop, you won't know him. But if you don't have to be that well versed, but like I'm saying, like if you have real surface level knowledge of hip hop, you won't know him. If you
that's what I am, very surface level.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I finally got through Drake's 3-album set.
Oh, I did not listen to all that. There's one song I really like, but I did not listen to the whole thing.
I know a lot of people said that out of all 3 albums, there's only a handful of songs they like. They said it's not a good 3-album experience.
So here's the thing. I'll pull this up really quick. So here's the thing though. Like when you're putting out, and this is for any artist, Brandon, you would know this better than myself and even Scoop. Especially in the modern era, especially like 2026 music and music culture of like today's era. When you're putting out 3 albums of maybe, let's say 40, 50 songs.
Which is crazy to me. The fact that that's become commonplace is insane to me.
But that's the point that I'm getting to, Scoop, and thanks for saying that, is that is a bad idea for any artist.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why he did it.
It's
because I listened to the whole thing and I was like, okay, yeah. There's like only a few songs I like in here. I like the fact that each album is very distinct in terms of sound. But I also was like, there's no point for him to do this.
Can I talk for a sec? It's
please, Scoop, go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that in a rude way.
No, it's not rude. Please go. I want to hear your thought process on this.
because I've seen this happen with other not in the rap scene, but other artists. I've seen it happen with Taylor Swift. I've seen it happen with one of my two favorite artists of all time, Morgan Wallen. I've seen it happen, in different places. Drake did it a couple of years ago, in one of his earlier projects. It's largely from my vantage point and from what I've seen, it's largely based on streaming numbers and streaming records. And
absolutely.
It kind of reminds me of, you and I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. We kind of went back and forth on one show, and we were talking about the expansion of the NCAA hoops, March Madness, excuse me.
Right.
And I was basically saying how I didn't like the this, that, and the other, and you were saying, well, it's because of money, it's because of ratings, etc. I kind of have a similar vibe with this.
No, and I agree. I understand that it's like rating, or that it is like, oh yeah, we want to get streaming numbers. But the only album here that people were freaking out about was Iceman, and I liked Iceman a little, but Maid of Honor hit a lot better for me because Maid of Honor. How about the Knickerbockers? Because Maid of Honor. Because this is the thing. I am more of like an electronic side of hip hop. Like if you merge that. And like
you're a big voice box guy.
Let's just say autotune. As much as people hate autotune, I see the uses for autotune.
If it's done right, it's fine.
I can't. I don't like it.
If
it's done right.
I have felt this way about Drake recently because he's kind of gone out of the zeitgeist. Other than this, which one of the reasons why he did this. And he talks about it in the album is like, oh, people gave up on me, so I'm going to like put this out. It's like, dude, you're still one of the most famous and most decorated rappers of the last 20 years. Like you don't need to have a top hit every 5 years.
Isn't he like up there in terms of all genres?
Yes, but I'm just saying but it's like and I get that he wants to be like viewed as this like top guy, but he doesn't need to like put out like amazing #1 charts music. I understand that's like the goal, but he doesn't need to do that anymore.
The problem is with a lot of bigger artists these days, like whether it's Drake or Taylor Swift or whoever it may be, people have lost the concept of quote unquote good music. Because I mean, good music is subjective, but at the same time, people have lost the concept as a whole of like what usually would constitute what good music is. It's like now people see the artist and they'll listen to it and pump the numbers up and all that kind of stuff. It's not that like these artists don't really have to try anymore.
I felt that way about this album. Brandon, to add to your point, I felt that way about these 3 albums because it's like these songs are just so simplistic. And it's fine. I like simplistic music. I like the fact that you can put something out that's just the beat is simple, the lyrics are simple. Like for example, like Sabrina Carpenter does this so well. She takes like a really basic idea that social media is yelling about, and then just says, "All right, I'll make a song about it," and it goes top chart. But it's not organic. It's just, and so it's flat. It's flatter than it used to be, and I still like that stuff. Scoop, please go ahead. I like that stuff, but I'm in the minority for liking that stuff. I feel like
it made me think of a very specific. What the hell happened there? Can you still see me?
We can hear you. There you go. Well, wait.
No.
Your picture's buffering.
We can still hear you though.
Dang sandwich. All right. I don't know what to do about that.
I'm gonna try to fix it here, so don't worry about it. I'm gonna try to fix it.
All right, thanks. Hang on. Yeah, and you just took me off entirely.
No, I can hear you. Your just audio's on.
All right. Well, anyway, it reminded me of something that I saw. So when I was growing up, there were, I would probably say 3 or 4 main artists I was listening to who like the most, I would say, when I was, and I'm talking like not even a teenager yet. And those musicians and / artists, it was the formerly named Dixie Chicks, now just named the Chicks.
Yeah.
It was, and one was Shania, and one example was Shania Twain. For those who don't know the Shania Twain story, after a brutal divorce from her then husband, but also producer, Mutt Lange, she contracted Lyme disease and was unable to sing for several years. And when she got back into singing, she sounded completely different. Like her vocal register had changed, was much lower, everything. And now a lot of people still think she sounds good, and I don't disagree. But she put out an album a couple years ago, and a couple of the songs that were on that album, essentially, you could tell were literally just very, like you said, very basic, very just sort of the, what do you call it? Like radio fodder type of music. And it was just stuff that, and they went very, if you want to call it viral, they went big on TikTok, and the radio's numbers did very well. But a lot of people just said the same thing. It was just like, from a objective musical standpoint, this is just not what we're used to. This is not Come On Over. This is not From This Moment On. This is not, the songs that really made her who she was. It was a lot of like, giddy up and like cheesy wordplay, and I don't mean wordplay like you and I like, Brandon. I mean just like repeating like the same non-words over and over again, and being just very repetitive to like this sort of like kids bop beat almost.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things though when it comes to music, is like before the era of like streaming, because nowadays it's so easy to reach so many thousands, millions, however many people you want to reach. It's so easy to reach so many people that it's like all it takes is the right people to find it, and it blows up, and then it's like, and then you almost don't have to try as hard anymore once you blow up. Where it's like
Right.
back then, if you wanted to make a name for yourself, I'm not saying back then as like it was that long ago. Back then, even when we were toddlers, when we were little kids, in the early to mid 2000s and late 2000s, you still, to get anywhere, before streaming really got big like it is now. Like it was starting to become big then, but big now. You had to make your music all from scratch. You had to make it all from scratch. You had to be as original as everyone as the next artist. You had to literally go to malls to shop your demos around. You had to go out basically out in public, and hell, if you had to, even offer free concerts for people that just want to listen to music. So like you had to do it all yourself, and you had to be hungry for it. You had to have a drive for it. Now anybody can do it in 2 minutes with either the help of AI or just with the, if you're famous.
Oh my gosh. What do you think about the artists who are creating music with AI? Like, did you see that they're bringing back like deceased artists' music with AI voices now?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's creepy to me, and I don't like it. And it's because it's like, once an artist dies, that should be the end of it. Like, like I'm not saying the end of it in terms of like, like they stop doing anything related to them, but it should be the end of it in terms of trying to put music out that they didn't record themselves.
Yeah.
That like, once an artist dies, whatever is out there, either in the vaults or what they've put down on tape, that should be it. That's it. So like, because that's what they intended. So like, but the thing is, there's a lot of like, I don't even like artists nowadays who are claiming that they use AI to assist them in their music. Like I used to like Teddy Swims. I don't have as much respect for. I'm not saying I hate him, but I don't have as much respect for him as I did when he first came out, because he basically admitted that, not for every song, but for some of his songs, he's used like AI assisted tools to help him make it. And I'm like,
I never even heard that. That's wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't mess with that. Like if you can't make the music yourself, to me, you're just not that talented. So like, I'm somebody where it's like, the artists that I listen to and go back to the most and I respect the most are the ones that did it themselves and did it their way.
Agreed. Absolutely.
So, like, like you look at so many across. I know we're way past the whole sports stuff, but when it comes to music, because music is a part of sports for different reasons, but like when they're even playing music in on sports programming now, and I'm hearing the songs that they're playing, I don't get hyped hearing a new song from an artist, whether they're old or new. I don't get hyped hearing a new song in the broadcast, like when they cut to commercial and they play whatever music that is, or if it's in MLB, if it's a hitter's walk up music, I don't get hyped. But yet when I hear something older, like during an Eagles game last year, they when they were cutting to commercial, and we had like a big lead. It was like like a 14-point lead, 17-point lead, whatever it was. We were up by a lot. I don't know what game it was, but I think it was a night game. It was one of our night games, and as they were going to break, they played Boys to Men, Motown Philly, and I was like, see, that got me excited to hear it. And I was actually like, as they were going to commercials, like, oh, like I was sitting there like bobbing to it, like I'm like, because that's real music. It was made from a place where you can hear the heart and soul that went into it.
Right.
So it's just a lot of new music just does not have that same heart and soul that it used to when artists all had to be hungry, had to be original, had to care about what they put into it, had to carefully kind of create their sound, their image, what they wanted to be. So like, because nowadays so many artists, they just want to, everybody just wants to blow up fast and just and get rich quick kind of thing. So a lot of artists, like that's why I just don't have respect for artists that are like, oh yeah, like the ones that have blown up, in a very short period of time. Because I'm like, how much of it did you really do yourself? Oh God, are we losing? Are we all just cutting out now? Is that what's happening? Am I here by myself doing this? There we go. Yeah, I think we're all just cutting out because this is like.
Oh
coming.
no.
Oh, so yeah, like, but that's just basically like we can be on and on about music all day long, but it's just, to me, I just, that's also why for as someone, they always say like, whatever era you were born in, you usually have nostalgia for the era right before you or the time in which you were born. So it's like,
I don't agree with that per se. For me,
I've just heard that, like, that's just a common thing I've heard.
no, I
It's
know.
not
I'm just saying my own opinion. I don't think
Like-
that's accurate for me.
like like a lot of artists will take from, not so much from their generation, but a lot of artists who are really skilled and original, they'll kind of take bits and pieces from what came right before them and then make it their own because that's what they loved listening to as a little kid. So it's like, for me, I'm a fan of the 90s and the 2000s. That's because the 90s is right before obviously we were born, and the 2000s was when we were little kids. So like,
Right.
that kind of 15-20 year span between obviously 1990 and 2010, like those 20 years, that's the era that I'm a fan of. Like, where I'm just like, right before social media blew up, right before streaming became a real big thing, all that kind of stuff, like back when things were still original, built to last, and really really well done. So like, like all my favorite music comes from those 20 years basically. So it like, and it's like even with sports, I look back, like the years I always look back fondly with sports, like, oh yeah, of course the championship teams, but like the '09 Yankees or the couple runs that the Eagles made, like the '08 season when we were a wild card team. We literally beat the Cowboys 44-6 in the final week of the season to make the playoffs, and then went on a run to the NFC Championship game, and we got our hearts broken by the Cardinals. But I still remember that team fondly because they should have made a Super Bowl if they would have just stopped Larry Fitzgerald, which is easier said than done. But
Yeah,
still,
you and I have talked about that at plenty of time.
that's the first time I ever cried at the Eagles game, was watching Larry Fitzgerald just destroy our defense in that game. And then of course, obviously, the early 2010s when you had the Miracle in the Meadowlands, and you had Vic, McCoy, and Jackson, like, so
The classics, the ones with whom I grew up.
Yeah, or
Well, you
Mac,
throw in Macklin too.
Macklin, Selleck, a very
Selleck,
young, very young Jason Kelsey.
young Kelsey, Harriman's, Jason Peters.
Yeah,
I'm
Asante
trying to remember who.
Samuel.
I'm trying to remember who the other guard was when Harriman's was there.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but basically,
Right.
like,
Wasn't
yeah. So it's
Suomalo
like,
yet, was it?
no, that was way before his time. But yeah, basically, like, that's how I look at it, So it's like, I'm kind of that way, but I don't know. I know we went off the rails on music, so
That's. I mean, hey, I don't think that that's a bad topic to go on, but what I am concerned about is what's going on with my camera.
we talked about the
But
band, so we got the bands out of the way for a little bit. So,
oh yeah, I think the last thing we were going to go into was the I mean, we were gonna talk a little bit about, or I asked you if you wanted to talk about the stuff from Monday, because we technically haven't talked about that on this show. And then we also had, I'm trying to pull up the agenda, but in the same time as my camera is going berserk, it also is not letting me pull up my information. But I think your computer cursed mine.
it's possible.
But it was the hockey trade request.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any thoughts on that? On Larkin requesting a deal?
I'll tell you what, because if I'm Dylan Larkin too, if I'm in Dylan Larkin's shoes, I've been there long enough where, they're taking one step forward, two steps back. It feels like in Detroit, and he needs a place where he can win now, because he's still in the prime of his career, and and then people are like, a lot of Red Wings fans are delusional, as a lot of Eagles fans were saying, "Oh, AJ Brown doesn't want out," but yes, he did. Dylan Larkin does want out, so otherwise we wouldn't be hearing about it. So, or if we heard about it, they'd be denying it right away, which they didn't do. Nobody denied it right away, and nobody has still denied it. So he wants out. I mean, listen, he's a 70-point guy, which is what every team would love to have. He doesn't miss games that often, and if he's a guy that will always play at least 65 games a season, which is exactly what you want. He's healthy enough to be one of your star players. I think each of the last 5 seasons he has 30 goals. He's a 30-30 guy at his worst and a 30-40 guy at his best. Which is, and he'll never dip below that unless he either gets too old later in his career, or obviously when he first started he wasn't quite that guy yet. But he's still in the prime of his career. So I can't imagine that there's going to be, there's only going to be a couple teams like going after him. Like, anybody would love to have him, and anybody in the NHL could use him. So, like, I expect, I could see, anybody really in the Metro making a move for him. That includes us and you guys, the Flyers. I could strangely see Minnesota even making a move for him, because they loaded up to get Quinn Hughes. They want to keep him there long term. I could see them, because they were very close this year to making a real run at this thing. So I could see him being the missing piece that Minnesota would need to kind of either not get over that hump, but at least get close enough to the finish line, maybe make a finals appearance. Any team, honestly, any team would love to have him. Any team that needs basically forward help, which is quite a few teams.
Truly.
So, I just think that it's kind of just time. I mean, because they're not going to win anything in Detroit. This isn't the Detroit of the Datsukes and Steve Yzerman and all that stuff. Like, it's not that team anymore. It's not that when they were playing, it's not those championship caliber teams anymore. That's just they're good enough to maybe make the playoffs, but they're not good enough to make any noise in the playoffs. So And so for someone like that, he's basically your best player, more or less. So he needs a change of scenery while he's still in his prime to try and go win a championship. And it's like that's any star player would do that after they've given 7-8 years to a franchise, been a pillar of the franchise, but still haven't won anything. That's what happened
Right.
with LeBron. LeBron did that with Cleveland. So, it honestly, and KD did that after years with OKC and not winning anything. He did that.
Right.
So, it's no different in hockey. When a star wants to win, and there's really no chance to win currently with what Detroit's built over there, it's just you need that change of scenery. I think no matter whoever's getting him, you're not getting him with the idea of obviously throwing a bag at him and then building around him. No, you're gonna throw the bag at him maybe, but you're throwing a bag at him with the intention of he is the missing piece that you need to make a cup run.
Right.
So I think that wherever he goes, I think that it's gonna be special. If it's the right team, it's the right fit. If he's got guys around that are playmakers, which is he had inconsistent playmakers in Detroit. If he's got a team full of playmakers around him, which is why I think like the Flyers is tough because you guys kind of have a little bit of a youth movement going on.
I'm still here.
I was gonna say you guys have a little bit of like a youth movement going on there, so I don't know if he would fit your guys' timeline because he's 29, I believe.
Right.
And it's not even biased. I think he would fit really well in Jersey. Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, Timo Meyer, like they're all around that same age, 25 to 30 years old.
I saw some speculation about Nemec being a factor in that, but that might have just been fan speculation.
No, I've heard that too because Shimon Nemec wants out too, so he wants to be traded. So I've heard that too, and honestly, I could see. I mean, I know you need to give up a lot. You'd probably have to give up, I would say Nemec, Mercer, and probably your first round pick to get Larkin. That's the one package I think I've seen the most floating around of like what could get it done. Not that it will, but what could get it done. Because Detroit just needs kind of a youth infusion anyway, because their prime guys just aren't winning much. But that's not even because it's not really the prime guys that aren't doing their jobs, really because just the guys that are beside them in that Detroit team just aren't that good. So that's why I said I can see Minnesota doing it. I can see Jersey doing it. I can't see. I know Rangers fans, but like every team's gonna say they want him. I can't see. Obviously Ranger fans are gonna want him. I've seen Rangers fans saying, "Oh, go get him." I'm like, why would you want Dylan Larkin when you're still about 20 pieces away from winning a cup? So Rangers, that's not happening. Islanders could be in play, because look, they're building something special there, and they were really good this year, even though they fell apart late. They were really good this year. Islanders could be in play. But I would just think his best chance is probably with a team that's going to be a cup contender in the next year or two. So that's probably your Minnesotas, your. I don't think Dallas, because I think Dallas has too many bigger contracts. I don't think Dallas would work. It's either got to be a team that has deep playoff run goals for next season, so it can't be somebody who's kind of like, hoping they get there. It's got to be a team that they know they can get there. It's just tough. But I saw a what is it? I saw an NHL reporter. I think not a reporter, but a bar down guy. And he had basically said that his gut feeling was Jersey. I mean, obviously, I would love him in New Jersey, but
of course,
like I said, as anybody would. I don't. I mean, listen, Sonny Maida's there now. He could take that big of a swing.
I like him. I like Sonny Maida a lot.
So yeah, that I'm glad. I'm happy that I can finally say it's not Tom Fitzgerald anymore. Jesus. But I don't know, man. Like, Larkin's such a good player, such a special player, and he's literally a missing piece to a real cup run type of team. So I can see a bidding war just ensuing over him. Like, just, who's going to, I guarantee there's going to be probably like, eight, probably like maybe 8 to 10 top tier packages on the table for someone like him. He's just that good. So, man, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. But like I said, anybody that gets him is going to be, that's, you're getting him and then you're keeping him for the long haul for the rest of his career type of guy. So
Right.
he's too important.
That makes sense. And I mean, for your sake, obviously, I'd be curious to see how you'd, what your thoughts and reaction would be if a trade did materialize involving him going to anywhere, but it's obviously particularly your Devils. But I'll be fascinated to see if that materializes in any direction. Did we want to hit the AJ stuff one time, or have we gone on too long, do you think?
I mean, we might have gone on because the thing is, even with the AJ stuff going on, we could beat it to death. It's like but the bottom line with the AJ stuff is, I told this to you and I said this, but the more stuff that comes out about this fractured relationship in Philly, the worse he looks by the second.
Right.
And it's like, and it's like, before he's sitting there, we knew all along he was one of the guys that with him, basically him and Kevin Petullo were the guys, leaking stuff to the media to make the whole organization look bad.
Right.
But
and it seems, and we didn't realize this at the time. I mean, I don't know how we could have, but it seems like one of the people who was, I don't know if I would say one of the people who was problematic, but one of the people who seems like they were contributing to the toxicity at some point seems like it was former pass rusher Hassan Reddick.
Which doesn't surprise me, because I remember when he left, they said the real reason why that relationship with him and Philly fractured in Philly was because he was ignoring his assignment and sack chasing.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I remember that vividly. That was one of the biggest issues they had with Hassan Reddick, his final season in Philly, one of two. First season, he was doing his job. He was playing to his strengths. He had all those sacks, forced fumbles, and big stops, all that kind of stuff. Second season, the sack numbers were down, but it's just because a lot of times I mean, listen, the defense was bad in general in 2023 for obvious reasons, and who was calling it, but they had a problem with him in that building because they said that he was just like AJ, chasing numbers, not chasing wins, and chasing team success. So Hassan Reddick was one of those guys that I liked, and then I'll never forget hearing that report from multiple big sources at the time, saying that basically, the biggest problem that Philly had was that he was sack chasing and not actually doing his assigned job on a play, and that's why certain plays would look a little bit weird defensively, and certain plays wouldn't materialize the right way, et cetera, et cetera. So it doesn't surprise me that this whole thing stems back to those 2023 Philadelphia Eagles, because that's kind of when the cracks in the foundation of this kind of, last 3 years, that's when it formed, was around that era. So
right.
Really, because 2022, Jalen and AJ, best friends, first year together, Hassan Reddick, phenomenal. Everybody was doing their own thing. They were happy. They were blowing teams out the water. And then, of course, they lose in the Super Bowl, but still a great season nonetheless. They were beating the crap out of everyone they went against. I remember that season well. And then, of course, as we both do. But you get to 23. 23 was one of those years where it was a grind. The offense didn't look good. The offense and defense didn't look good. At least last year we could say the defense looked good while the offense didn't. But 23, both sides of the ball did not look good. Both sides of the ball had incompetent coaching. And then somewhere along that way is what we're hearing now, where it wasn't so much a rift. It wasn't, and this is what the media got wrong, there wasn't a rift it became a rift between Jalen and AJ. But the rift stemmed from quote unquote, it's all speculation, but it's the more that comes out
Alleged,
about
yeah.
it's seeming like it's becoming more and more truthful, is that basically him and Hassan Reddick are messing with the same girl.
Yeah.
So and of course when word gets around and then they start fighting over it, I almost guarantee you, given how Jalen's character is, I guarantee he probably told both guys to cut the crap and to focus on ball and all this stuff, and they didn't like him telling them what to do.
Yeah, and then AJ probably felt like he wasn't being or Jalen wasn't supporting him. It's not Jalen's job to babysit people who don't know how to, control what's. You know where I'm going with that. Like it's not, that's not Jalen's job. It's not his job to babysit grown adults. It's not his job to, be the, is it his job in a sense to be a leader of men and to sort of, try and manage, the personalities around him to a degree? Sure. But it's also those two guys' job to, one, not make stupid decisions off the field, but two, to leave non-football outside of football. And I honestly, I don't remember when it started, but remember, how it was kind of around that time, at least I think it was it kind of around that time that Jalen started using that keep the main thing line?
It was around there, because in 2023, when the criticisms about his play started, and they were still winning games, that's when he was like, oh, we're not worried about how it looks. We're just keep. Like they're teammates, they're working together, but they're not friends anymore. They're not as close as they once were. And then Brandon Graham, Brandon had to kind of walk that back immediately, because they told him, hey, you can't be saying that, you can't be spilling the business out here. So he kind of walked it back like a day or two later and said, oh, I didn't mean it like that, whatever, yada yada, be kind of cleaning it up. And obviously, because he was on that defensive line, he definitely, and the thing is, you're just a teammates anyway, so he knows exactly what happened between Hassan Reddick, AJ, and Jalen. He knows exactly what happened. So because you wouldn't say that if you didn't know something. So, I give a lot of credit, and this is also why I give Brandon Graham credit, because not only did he walk it back and clean it up, and then they locked in for the Super Bowl run. I give Brandon Graham credit because he's also the biggest Jalen Hurts guy in that locker room. So him and Mailata, but Brandon Graham especially, saying that you don't know Jalen like I do. So all those times he said it. So I this is why I tell people, when a quarterback, like wins and losses are not a QB stat, we understand that. But it takes a special quarterback, despite all that drama, to keep that team together, still get them to win games and win a damn Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I always tell people, I don't care about, because everybody's like, oh, Jalen has to throw for 40 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, or else he's not an elite quarterback. There's much more that goes into an elite quarterback than just stats, which even then we can still pull up stats like the ones that me and you were posting today about his deep ball.
Yeah. Can I mention that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a post that Brandon and I both reblogged today on Instagram. You can go find it if you follow us. And, excuse me, it was talking about over the last 4 years, the quarterbacks that have thrown the most passes for, was it 20 yards or more, or was it 40 yards or more? I think it was 20.
20 plus. Yeah, 20 plus.
Yeah. The second ranked quarterback in the NFL had 29. Don't remember who it was.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts has 37. There was an 8-pass spread or differential, whatever you want to say, margin, between Jalen Hurts and the second-ranked quarterback. Everybody else was all bunched up back there, right behind number 2 guy. But number 1 was number 1.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, so again, and like I said in the post, you can dislike him. You can criticize some elements of his game based in fact. There are definitely elements of his game that I would like to see. I'd like to see him get the ball out a little bit quicker. I'd like to see him, but again, even some of that sometimes is, we can argue or not argue. We can, pick nits over, what those reasons have been at times. I would like to see him get the ball out quicker. And, there are other elements, you can talk about and such, but otherwise, if it's not one of those elements, then at this point, it just sounds like you either are talking just to talk, or frankly, sometimes just sounds racially motivated, because it is insane to me the amount of picking nits that goes on.
Are they the focused guy that's not sitting there, cracking jokes, in press conferences, but literally focused as more as laser focused as he is? No. Like, the thing is, he might not be the guy that gives you, and he's never going to be the guy unless hell freezes over. He's never going to be the guy that gives you the most flashy numbers in the world. But he is going, and this is what I said, there's certain intangibles that you can't teach in a quarterback that makes them elite. It's how good of a leader are you? How good are you in crunch time? How good are you, when the lights, how strong?
Oh, thank God.
What?
I'm sorry. Can I say some breaking news?
Yeah.
Aaron Judge has been diagnosed with a stress fracture of the first rib on his right side. The Yankees have announced he will be re-imaged in approximately 4 to 6 weeks. He is fully expected to return at some point this season.
Okay, that's the best news we can get. That is massive. That also just flies in the face of everything we said the first hour of the show.
Yeah. No need to listen to the first 45 minutes of the show at this point.
Basically,
oh my God.
I think basically at this point we can assume that they'll probably keep him out to the All-Star break.
Fine. You know what?
Around
Well, I mean, that's pretty much a given at this point. If they're not going to even re-image him until 4 to 6 weeks from now, fine.
That's what I'm
fine.
saying. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Put him on a rehab assignment after the trade deadline. Build him up. Have him back for September. Get him to Aaron Judge level by October. Fine. This is. Once we found out that it was more than just an injury that could be back within 10 days, this is about the best possible news you could have asked for.
Yeah, that's literally the best. And the crazy thing is, I kind of wish they would have caught it a little sooner. That way we could obviously have him back a little sooner. But
so do I. But and again, I'm not trying to be the sort of water boy holder here, we don't know when Aaron Judge reported the pain. Aaron Judge probably played through the pain for some period of time.
Yeah. That's the thing, too, is like when I saw some of the uncharacteristic, like I was saying before, when I saw some of the uncharacteristic like swings from him, some of the uncharacteristic at bats, like especially early on around the time of that Brewers series, like I wouldn't say like in that series I would have asked him what's wrong, but in that series, like after that, when he's not hitting well against like against the division games that we had or whatever it is, like that's like I wish they would have asked him then, hey, is something wrong? Because you're kind of not where you usually are with a lot of these at bats. So like because defensively he was still fine. So we just thought, hey, he's slumping real bad. And I guess that's in his mind, and who knows, maybe he was hurt, but he just didn't start really feeling the pain until that Oakland series, the A's series. So
I did that earlier. I did that earlier this show too.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm now texting the Yankees chat telling them.
What Yankees chat?
We have me and the TCA guys have the Yankees chat going where we're always talking like before, during, and after all the games.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm in that or not, but
yeah. No, it's not. I could add you to it if you want to, but your phone will go off nonstop every day. So
I don't. It already does. I don't care.
Yeah, that's all. I'll add you to it.
Cool. But thank you. But man, and you know what? I love that we were on the show for that. Because
we probably shouldn't have been because of how long we went.
We're 3 out. What? It's 9:12.
Yeah.
10:12 where you are, but oh my goodness. But no, you know what? I'm glad that we were on for that because that's a nice sort of outro, I would say.
Yeah.
And we did cover everything. Do you have anything else that we didn't cover, or anything else that you wanted to say when I accidentally cut you off?
No, because I could have went on. I can go on about the whole Jalen Hurts stuff all day long. Me and you both can still. Yeah.
I mean, Rob came in and turned this whole thing into World Cup Central. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I was like, you know what? This is your show now. This is not my show anymore. This is your show now because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, but we're good. I think we covered everything. At least 99% of what we got, pun intended. But still.
All right. Well, for the people who are still on, thank you so much for bearing with us this whole time. Greatly appreciate everybody's support. And we kind of could conclude this from somebody else, or from the original report, but there is now a report from a Yankees guy that is more directly saying no thoracic outlet syndrome for the captain. So, all right. And that noise you just heard outside was about 5 million Yankees fans collectively breathing and collectively exhaling for the first time in about 4 days. So, but Brandon, thank you again for tuning in. Rob, thank you for tuning in. Out west, you guys have In-N-Out Burger. Today we had In-N-Out Rob jumping back in and out of the show for 16 times. Knows a ton more has probably forgotten more about soccer than I'll ever know. So appreciate everything that he shared there today. And I hope that he had fun at the bowling party or whatever he's doing. And as for that, we'll see y'all next week, June 11th. Tomorrow, I think, is game 2 of the Spurs Knicks series. So that'll be fun. And are we doing FA this weekend or no? Because I know we're doing the Madden thing tomorrow, but are we doing FA this weekend?
I don't know for sure. I would check in with Rob because Rob's the one obviously running it.
Yeah, I'll let Rob do that. He's the manager of that. I'll let him do that. But all right, so maybe see y'all this weekend, and if not, we'll be back next week on Wednesday the 10th for another K&K Takeover show, and then back here at 6 p.m. Central the next day, June 11th, 2026. Same scoop time, same scoop channel.
Starts.
Pardon?
World Cup starts on our next.
Beautiful. Oh, Shoot. Go Knicks from Kenny. Kenny, thank you so much for tuning in late. Yes. Also, Kenny, in case you missed what we just said, no TOS for Aaron Judge. He's got a fracture in his rib, going to be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks, expected to return sometime before the end of the 2026 regular season. All right. And as I was going for, we'll see y'all next week. Same scoop time, same scoop channel.